and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our next series, to the quarter. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. But welcome back, regardless. Welcome back to the Spike Cup number 82. Number 82. I do apologize for the stream going down, but again, hopefully that has resolved any network issues. I've switched to a different Twitch server, and hopefully this server is more stable. Fingers crossed. That also means that the Twitch VOD has been broken up. So, sorry, the YouTube VOD has been broken up. So unfortunate that did occur, but hopefully it is smooth sailings from here on forward. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have our red Terran player. We have our red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran from the land of South Korea. It is Percival. We're here for all the TVTs, Papi. As a reminder, the winner of this series will potentially go up against Ryung, BabyMarine, or Honmono in the next round. So we have a wall full of Terrans on one side, and we have all the other Protoss players on the other. Here we go. As we are jumping into our quarterfinals match. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. Let us go. As predictions are open. Coming into this, I'll be honest, I don't really know who to favor. Part of me wants to lean towards Nicoract just because he is a much more active player and he has been on the rise. But at the same time, Percival is likewise also up and coming, has also been returning to the scene, returning to competitive play, also been improving as well. I do think they're quite comparable in skill, but we'll see who will take out the other this time this week. Here we go. Shout out to the Tuna. Shout out to the Tuna. So do move out. So here we are moving out. Reapers are amassing. Double gas open out of Percival. Likewise, same out of Nicoract. So far we have mirrored builds. Both players are going to be delaying their expansions. Both players are working towards faster factories. This can lead into reactor Reaper Hellion. True, can lead into something a little bit more aggressive, something a little bit more assertive. Otherwise, this can also lead into earlier Cyclone production, earlier tank production as well. Our players should not be going for all-ins, though. They should both be expanding. Should be looking to expand. As the Reapers, they do deflect each other. Likewise, as that natural. So Nicoract will expand. Likewise, so will Percival. So far, so good. Reapers are building up. And we do have a divergence here. So we have Percival. He doesn't go for the earlier add-ons. He goes for a faster starport. Meanwhile, Nicoract does embrace those add-ons. He does go Reactor Reaper Hellion. So much more aggressive early on by Nicoract. Percival, meanwhile, he is going for faster tech. Now, this tells me that there's going to be a small window. There's going to be a timing where Nicoract can do some damage. As we have our first Cyclone on the way from Percival. Dips in with the Hellion. He does come across the main army. As Nicoract is distracted, Percival, he moves in. Does slip into the main. Heads for the mineral line. SCVs are going to be going down. He gets one so far. Boys are being pulled. Nicoract, he's racing back home. Is racing back, and he's going to lose 1, 2, 3 SCV kills, losing up to a 4th. Ooh, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, 5th worker goes down. Percival is cleaned up, but so far this is solid damage. This delayed the aggression of Nicoract. More importantly, it also gave Percival more time to secure himself, to get into the Cyclones, Hellions, Marine production, to build up and get ready for the assault, for the counterattack. As Nicoract has been delayed, looks like he's going to double down. We're going for a medevac follow-up. This tells us that we're going to be loading up and zooming across the map. Nicoract, he wants to deal some counter damage. The pressure is on. Pressure's on Nicoract. as Percival currently has a lead. See if he can maintain it. Here comes that drop. Similarly to what Percival just did, Nicoract he can distract on the front lines and then drop into the main. And pull this off. There it does drop in. Drops in, catches a couple of Marines. Not bad, gets a couple of Marines, gets an SCV, but nothing too major. Has to back off, saves the Cyclone, saves the medic. Up! Oh my god, whew, barely does save the medevac. Likewise, more importantly, gets a tank. Very big pickup. Takes down one tank, gets the hell out of there. Very nicely done. The drop in the main base was negligible damage, to be honest. Wasn't anything major, but the tank, that was impactful. That was important. Reapers will go back in. They delay the third TC. They scout the third TC as well. They're getting up to 4 kills. Oh, being a little bit wasteful towards the end, but it's fine. The Hellions do survive, and Nicoract, he does retake, or I should say, he's looking to stabilize. Still down in workers, and actually has no third CC of his own. I mean, he knows about his opponent's expansion. He knows that it's on the way. Nicoract, he's going to commit. And he's building up his forces, building up more Ravens, more tanks, and Nicoract, he may pull the boys with this. We'll see. Either he throws down his CC as he pushes, or he just commits to a 2-base all in and just pulls the boys. Scan reveals lack of expansion. Initial drop out of Nicoract. Army does move out. And I don't see a third CC yet. Regardless, hyper committed here from Nicoract. And the goal of this move out needs to be at least to delay this third base, to contain Percival onto 2 bases and get his own expansion. That should be what he's at least hoping for. The most would be to snowball out control and just end the game with this push. Tanks are sped. Nicoract is coming in with the disables. Does he mean he gets 1, he gets 2. Oh, gets 3. It takes down all 3. Likewise, counter disables. Oh, and all tanks that get disabled. The bio army's pushing through. The auto start putting in a lot of damage. But the disables are running out. Yeah, they're running out. Percival, he holds. GG gets called. It was a 2-base all in. And Percival, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Percival does take a lead in the series. Does take game 1. And again, Nicoract was completely all in with that push. I mentioned earlier that he wants to at least delay the third, but he never threw down his own. Never threw down his own expansion. Did commit, wasn't quite enough, and with that, Percival takes a lead. Does take a leader now. Jumping into game 2. Jumping into game number 2. We'll see if Nicoract can bounce back and force the ace match over the lens here. Personally, I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a game 3, but honestly, this could still go either way. The pressure is on Nicoract. Here we go. Pressure is on, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our red Terran player. We have our red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Percival. Leading the series 1-0. Here we go. Again, there was nothing too crazy when it came to the last game, when it came to the openers. So we had mirrored builds. We had Nicoract unfortunately getting caught with his pants down and did lose too many SCVs for Leon. But last, Percival was able to maintain a lead from there. Nicoract, he was forced into a 2-base all-in. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to break through. We had some nice disables, don't get me wrong, but likewise, Percival had the counter disables. Tanks were not a factor. I say tanks were not a factor. Percival had 1 tank over his opponent, and that was the difference there to pull off that defense and to defend the natural base. GG. GG. Well played. From there, we can calm things down. Once again, double gas opener out of Percival. This time, Nicoract, he mixes it up. This time, only one gas. Only one gas is being taken. So Nicoract is going for a faster CC, a more economic start by our red Terran this time. And now suddenly there's going to be a little bit more onus here on Percival to get damage done instead. There's more onus on Percival. There's that factory on the way. From here, he can go into Reactor Reaper, Hellion. I mean, for the time being, for the near future, Percival, he doesn't know. Like, neither player does scout. It is uncommon to SCV scout in TBT. Likewise, it is uncommon to move out with the first Reaper. So we should be staying back at home. You can see Percival, he is scouting, he's checking the nearby locations for a proxy. Staying at his natural. Likewise, Nicoract doing something similar. Safety bunkers on the way. Bunker for Nicoract, CC for Percival. Gearing up towards that mid game. Do you have the earlier reactor here from our blue Terran? And he is going Reactor Reaper Hellion. So it's almost like a role reversal, almost. Where this time Percival, he's going for the same opener that Nicoract went for last game. Is going for the same opener. Nicoract on the flip side is just being more greedy here than either player was. Just now getting to his starports. Tech labs on the way. That should be for a tank production, for eventual Ravens. And Percival, he will soon move out, building up his Reapers. Now, Percival, he is only going up to 3. He could go up to 5, but for now it's only 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. He is now switching into bioproduction, switching into tanks. His small force will move out, but he's going to run into a bunker. There's a bunker waiting for him. Now, Percival could try to rush past. Could rush past the bunker and go for the mineral line. Oh, yeah, he goes for it. Yeah, it does rush past. So he gets 1, he gets 2. 2 SCV kills. Takes down the Reaper as well. But Nicoract doesn't quite have enough to deal with this. He has to fall back. Cyclone is a couple of seconds away. Reaper's a bust in. Cyclone has arrived, and Reaper's they're forced out. The Cyclone isn't enough to hold on. Percival gets the hell out of there. Gets the hell out. Does pull away. Will escape, and they're losing a single Reaper. Decent start. That is enough to recover, to bounce back. Nicoract did have the initial economic lead, but now suddenly it's a little more even. Still slightly in favor of Nicoract by like half an SCV. Outside of that, has evened up, and Nicoract just rushing into a third. Oh my god! Economic opener into a very fast third. The greed is real here out of Nicoract. Very greedy. And for the time being, Percival does not know. He does not know of the greed. He is moving out with the initial drop though. Again, the pressure has been on Percival to get some damage done. He's still committing. He's boosting it. Boosting across the map. Setting up on the low ground. Oh, it is on the other side of the wall though. A little bit further back. It is within range here of the depot. Oh, delays the third TC. Avoids a tank. Catches out the bio. At least tries to. Is forced back. Has to have to lift off. Does lift off. Tank bullies on the bio. Tank bullies on the tank, sorry, my apologies. Can he get it? Oh, barely not. Tank does survive for Nicoract. And Nicoract holds. Nicoract does hold on. Whew. Again, clutch auto turrets. Little DPS down that tank. And Percival is getting his own third TC on location. Trying to recover. Trying to keep up with the third base of Nicoract. Still very tense. So our players do retreat. Building up our bio. Double E base on the way here. Thankfully, no mech. Thankfully, as we're entering the mid game, which we have yet to embrace here tonight. But is going to be, of course, Stim into bio. We do have a prioritization of Vikings first, though, instead of medevacs for Percival. It's going to be a slight deviation. Oh, and we do have some updates. We have some updates to go over after the series. So I did just notice the brackets. Some surprising results. We'll get there. But now Nicoract will soon expand. Again, his orbital's already morphed in. Salvage on the bunker. He will move forward. Likewise, Percival also securing his base as well. So we're just calming things down. And welcome one and all to Ultra Love. We actually haven't really spoken about the maps too much here. Ultra Love is a small map. It can lead to aggression as a result, which we have already seen so far. But if we can get into the mid game, it can be very difficult to break a defending player. Like once they secure themselves on 3 and 4 bases, they can be very, very difficult to break. Very defensive. Percival moves in. So let's move in. We'll zone away the Raven. Zealot zone. Tanks moving forward. Liberators do siege up, and we're going for the dive. Oh, we get the disables off just barely. Hit 1, 2 tanks get disabled. Likewise, counter disables here out of Nicoract. For the Marines, there's just not enough Marines. Army's breaking through. That one lib putting in a lot of work though. Oh my god. Takes down 2 tanks. Yeah, tanks are falling. So many tanks into that one Liberator. Jesus. He got like 3 tanks. SCVs fell as well. Percival, he somewhat maintains his position, still moving forward. And again, no Vikings for Nicoract. That one Liberator, the Freedom, was the MVP. And yes, Nicoract he holds. We're looking at the trades here. 4 versus 4. Both players lost 4 tanks. Nicoract he lost his Ravens to the Vikings of his opponent. In the end, Percival did have a better trade. He also did cripple the economy. So Percival he's ahead in tanks. Or sorry, I should say we're even on tanks. Percival he's ahead on Ravens. He's ahead on SCVs. He's ahead in economy. And I was getting a 4th CC. Getting a 4th base on location. That was a much better engagement for Percival. And Nicoract, he has to move out. He's going for his own drop. Oh. Marines, they do dive in. They delay the CC, not bad. Getting a tank. That is some damage. And this is necessary for Nicoract. This is what he needs to dive in, get 1 tank at a time, get a couple of Marines, a couple of SCVs. He needs to pick away at Percival and recover. Oh, as I say that, Nicoract gets caught out. Not like this. He's going to get caught. Both medevacs fall. And suddenly that was not as worth it here for Nicoract. Losing 2 medevacs and Marines for 1 tank. Nicoract, he consolidates his army. He's moving forward. But again, he's pushing into Ravens. And Percival securing himself. Liberated to harass. Marines, they stem in. Percival out of position. And he's going to lift up. And Percival is not ready. So far, good trade for Nicoract. Ooh. Whistle goes off. Nicoract, he does unsiege, and that does trigger the stem. Yeah, the stem comes in. Takes down both tanks, then you just keep going. Nicoract, he's in trouble. He has to get the hell out of here. Does race back home. Command Center survived, and Percival still maintains a higher worker count. Still in a better position. Double starports. Mass Viking production. Nicoract from here still building up. It's one of those things where even though Nicoract is behind, with good positional play he can always recover, right? Especially in TVT. If he's able to be the first to siege, if he's able to catch Percival off guard, then he can still win a fight. It's just difficult to kind of see that scenario when you're down in Ravens. That's the problem here. Even if you catch your opponent off guard, disables, they nullify that. Like Percival, he can, if he has the Ravens with the main army, I should say, it can of course reactively disable and matrix the tanks and render them inert. Even if Nicoract is the first to siege. Ooh, as that's a kill the CC! CC goes down. Percival, he's about to max. He's maxing out here. Building up a greater army. 2-2 finishing up for Nicoract. Do you get mass disable? Yeah, the disables are going to be coming in. This is what we're worried about. 2 tanks go down. Still a lot of tanks behind this though for Nicoract. He can still break through. Can he pull this off? Oh my god. Vikings are shut down. The Metavacs, they can also land on the tanks. They can and they will. We get the mass land. Tanks get surrounded. Oh, Marines, they come in to reinforce though. Nicoract, he can still pull this off. For now, rotating. Does pull away, does rotate. Looking at the trades here. Percival, he had killed 3 tanks, but he lost 4 in the process. Viking count almost reset. And Nicoract, he does have... Oh, he's actually down in tanks. Down in tanks. But he's pushing forward with all of them. Likewise, more Ravens on the way for Percival. Nicoract, he rotates. Percival a little bit late to respond. Setting up on the high ground. Again, Nicoract, he's still very committed, still very all in. Like, he has no 4th. No 4th CC. No 4th base on the way either. It's all or nothing for Nicoract. He's getting desperate. Okay, desperate here. Jumping into the 5th. Moving through the center. The CC doesn't go down. I got close. CC will survive. Cabs out some Marines. Better trade here for Nicoract. Does that forward, gets a free tank. Tanks late to siege. Oh no! He can stay in. He can and he will. He gets 1. He gets up almost 2 tanks. There we go. He gets a 2nd. 2, 3 tanks go down. He gets 4. He gets 5. He gets 6. He gets all 7. And barely gets all 7 tanks. Whew. Very efficient trades. You can see here 7 tanks and 43 Marines go down for Percival. Nicoract did lose 5 tanks himself. Army rotates. Nicoract pushing into a tank line. Not going to be easy. Yeah, here come the disables. And GG gets called as Nicoract, he runs out of steam. He had some good fights, but remember, he had no 4th CC. And with that, Percival, he will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played, Percival. He will claim the series, will advance on. A very intense game. And again, we even had some better fights for Nicoract. Unfortunately, because he had no economy behind it, he was all in. He had no economy. He was all in. And as a result, he was unable to... I mean, he tried to, but he was unable to break the defensive line there. Unable to break them. And with that, Percival, he's the first to advance on. The first to advance on into the next round. Into the semifinals. Oh my god. GG. GG, well played. Checking the bracket here again. Percival, he is the first to make it through. Oh. There he is. In those semis, and it looks like BabyMarine and Homeowner, they're still mid-series. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the ace match, but they're still mid-series. They're still facing off. When it goes up against Ryung, when it goes up against Percival, these TBTs are taking a little bit longer here, so the upper bracket is going to be delayed. Meanwhile, we have the lower bracket setting up. We have Gerald versus Art, as Gerald takes down Blue Knight 2-0. Prom takes down 3.2-0. Very impressive. I was not expecting that result, I'll be honest. But that was the upset that I was referring to. Big win there for Prom. Very big win. Very well done. And with that, that means Prom does advance on to face up against Shameless in the next round. Let's advance on. So we are getting ready for that series. I believe that's going to be our next one. They are currently 0-0. They're about to begin Gerald and Art, the mid-series as we speak. So we will be focusing on the lower portion of the bracket. So basically up next should be Shameless versus Prome into the lower semifinals, into the upper semis. By the time we finish the lower semis, we should be ready for the upper matches. Should be. Fingers crossed. Should be ready for them. Trying to catch up and settle in. We'll get some of these other bigger names there. We'll get there. And looks like the videos are done, and we are jumping into our fresh series, into our PvP. Let's go. The first of many, papi. The first of many. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the teal Protoss player from South Korea, already causing one upset. We'll see if he can cause another. It is Ryung. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Coming into this, I do favor Shameless, but Prome, I mean, already caused one upset. Can he cause another? To bring down 3 point is a very impressive result. Again, 3 point, he was the one and only notable Zerg player in the tournament, and now he's gone. Now it's purely Protoss and Terran, as to be expected in these events. True, as to be expected in open cups. But yeah, so my eyes are definitely going to be on Prome here. Going to be on Prome to see how well he can perform, to see if he can show some of that prowess against Shameless. Let's go. As we do have purely a Terran side and a Protoss side. Let's go. So now we have our 2-gate opener out of Prome, likewise 2-gate opener out of Shameless. Gases are being taken, and our eyes are going to be on the second pylon. But as we can see, there is no proxy. There's no pro battle on the map, so there's going to be no hidden pylon. They should be thrown down in the main bases. So far, all of our openers are standard. And we'll see how our players do deviate, how they take up, and how they get into the mid game. That's really what we're paying attention to. Is what we're focusing on. So now we do check, we confirm the second pylon in the main base of Prome, likewise second pylon in the main base of Shameless, so both players are aware that there is no proxy. I say both players, Prome actually never scouted. That's actually really risky. It's crazy, so no scout out of Prome. He's not really too concerned with what his opponent is up to. He's gambling a little bit here. I mean, I say a little bit, he is gambling, and so far he's gambling well. Shameless does expand. Meanwhile, Prome, he goes for his tech before Nexus. Interesting. Does go for the faster Twilight Council before the expansion. From here, our players are building up. Stalkers move out. Prome, does he turn this into an all-in? He could. Blink has begun. Yep, third gateway on the way. Prome, he's not expanding. Blue Station Scout will confirm. Big moment here for Shameless. He does scout the lack of expansion, and he will scout the third gateway and the Twilight Council. Now he knows. Shameless, now he knows we need shield batteries. We need as many shield batteries as possible. Robo has been thrown down. We need immortal production as well. Shameless is getting ready. Ooh, as the first sentry goes down, shield batteries delayed. A nice lockdown. It does catch one Stalker. And attempts to trade. Does attempt to, but Prome, he will waddle away. Does get away. There's the fourth gateway, so it's going to be one base, 4-gate blink all in. So 4-gate blink all in here from Prome. Does reinforce, goes back in. Shield battery's not ready. Oh no! He gets extra shots off. Yeah, extra shots are going off. A delayed reaction here from Shameless. It gets one Stalker though. Nice pickup. He gets one. Also get one. Second and third shield battery on the way. From here would need a pylon. Likewise, more reinforcements on the way. Blink is almost done. Meanwhile, Shameless just buying time here for the Immortal. Needs a little bit more time. Let's swap out. We're moving in. Moving forward, does go for the dive. Geek gets one, takes down one Immortal, doesn't quite get the other. Not quite. But last one Immortal is all he has to bring down, and now there's one left. Prome is built up to how many? Up to 12. It's 12 Stalkers. Up. Shields are triggered. Yep, blinks in. He can 2 shots. And without those Immortals, Shameless is in trouble. Barely gets one more. Barely one more Immortal. The boys are being pulled. He needs to protect. Shields get triggered. And Prome is getting ready for another dive. He knows that the Immortal is vulnerable. Oh. Shameless does pre-pull the boys, but there's that dive. Gets the Immortal once again. And again, without Immortals, Prome is popping off. He resets the army. And from here, Prome, he may just have too much. May just have too much here. There's only one Stalker left. Immortal just not coming down from the high grounds. Not bad. Does punish. Does punish. Does pick up a Stalker. But Prome's still on 11 Stalkers. Shameless, can he buy a little bit more time? Now that is an Artosis Pylon. Shields are triggered. Shields are triggered. Pylon is somewhat exposed. Shameless, he does try to back up. Oh my god. Does back up. Leaves out another Immortal. A couple of boys are being pulled. A couple of workers go down. This time a better trade for Shameless though. Much better. Oh. Has to be careful. Prome is still maintaining that 12 Stalker count. Still maintains. He's diving in. Oh, he can 2 shots. Again, each time the Immortal's just too far forward. Is exposed. And with that Shameless, he can never get up to 2. He can never build up to 2, let alone 3 Immortals. Is not happening. Artosis Pylon goes down. No, the Pylon. Artosis Pylon does fall. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, the Nexus is going to get picked up. The base, the Nexus, the everything. Shield batteries are back online. But there's no backbone to the army for Shameless. He just doesn't have enough. Was not able to build up his army. Base falls. And Prome has momentum. Back at home. Can't even expand himself for now though. Just getting more damage. Picking up more shield batteries. More pylons. The Immortal as well. Does dive in. Takes down the Immortal. Massive pickup. GG gets scored. There's nothing left. And Prome, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG. Well played at Prome. He will take a lead in the series. And we'll see if he can claim the entire series as well. Oh boy. See if he can claim it. But now Prome is up 1-0. And we'll see if Shameless, I mean, again, Shameless is favored. Coming into the series is favored, but based on what happened in game 1, I would not be surprised if we do see some more cheese and some more aggression in the rest of the series. Would not be surprised. We'll see if Prome can keep this up. We'll see if Shameless can bounce back. Let's go. Let us go. Prome, he's popping off today. He is popping off. See if we get some more cheese. Likewise, it looks like the other quarterfinals match is in the ace match. Gerald and Arch, they're facing off. They're tied 1-1. And we'll see where they take us from here. Meanwhile, we finally got an update. BabyMarine did take down Homeowner 2-1. Mate, that was like an hour-long series. That is crazy. Did last a very long time. But with that, BabyMarine, he's going to be facing against Ryung in the upper quarterfinals. They are facing off. They're mid-series. And hopefully we can get into those matches later. The upper matches, I mean. As we are jumping into game 2. Looks like we have our lobby. We're going to be loading into ley lines. We go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of ley lines, we have our blue Protoss player, not to be confused with our teal Protoss. Oh no. We have our blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy down in the series. He's still the favorite player though. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner with the teal Protoss player from land of South Korea, leading the series 1-0, popping off with the one base all-in. Can he do it again? It is Prome. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Shameless is unfamiliar with Prome, and if that was even his first series against him as well. I would not be surprised. As a result, this is where I would imagine Shameless is going to be playing a little bit safer. I would imagine a bit of a safer build, a safer response, in saying that he still did play safe last game, but it was a late shield battery and a late setup at the natural, which was punished. This time I would imagine that Shameless is going to be more secure. Keep an eye on things. Probe Scout is coming in. From the side of Prome, if we are aggressive, I would like to see a different build. A different build, a different setup, not a one-base blink all in. In general, I wouldn't be opposed to just a standard opener into an expansion, into the mid-game. There's still more aggressive builds and potential in a mid-game setup. But does Prome want to let Shameless be... Does he want him to get comfortable is the question. Does he want to let him be comfortable and get into a two-base economy? Oh boy. We're here for it. Yo, shout out to Rebellion in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. Good to see you. Hope you had some good matches. Did notice there's a bunch of A2P players. True, Prome, Ateshi, Rebellion. Been very active as of late. Now we do see that Shameless is going to be going for the pylon block, will attempt to lay the expansion, is going to be a 2-gate opener, and this can lead into an earlier tech structure or the expansion. And as I mentioned before, I would like to see the expansion here from Prome. There's a cancellation, and Prome, he will expand. Okay, this time does get the Nexus. Whew, we're calming things down. Likewise, Shameless back at home does open Sentry into expansion, 2-gate opener as well. With this, we should soon be seeing a hallucination, and Shameless needs to confirm whether or not there is an expansion. Does need to confirm. Hallucination is on the way. Hallucination does dive into the main. Does poke in, does poke out. Is going to be a robo opener here by Shameless. Does confirm this an expansion, but Shameless is playing very safe. Going for the robo into Immortals. Second Hallucination. And Prome's just chilling. Just chilling, playing standard, getting his natural, taking up into Blink. Very stable setup here from Prome. Very stable. Likewise, Shameless still building up. Going in for a second scout. So gets eyes on the Forge. Once again, tells Shameless is going to be a later timing. And that Prome is macroing. Is macroing up. Now, after these openers are kind of getting underway, Prome does have a slight economic advantage. That's why Shameless is here, poking in with the Adepts. Does poke forward. Runs into the army. It's a lot of Stalkers. First Adept goes down. So does the second. Ooh, barely falls. Nice start here by Prome. He shuts down the aggression. And I'm now much more concerned here for Shameless. Not gonna lie. I'm very concerned. Does have his own Immortal production though. Bear that in mind. Immortals are building up. Blink, delayed +1. The upgrades are later for Shameless. But they're on the way. I would want Prome to be, especially with this robo-based opener, Prome, has he scouted this? He has. I would love to see a faster third expansion, better economy. That is on the cards or on the table here for Prome. But that's a gateway. Oh my god, that's a massive gateway explosion, and Shameless he confirms. You can see him double back as well. He's like, hold up. It's like, wait a minute. What am I looking at right now? 2 base all in. We have 5 gates on the way, 2 already done. That's going to be a 7-gate setup on 2 bases, and Prome is getting ready for his push. Now, there is no robo, so we do need a proxy gateway ideally. There is going to be a 3rd base on the way, but this is a big commitment here into 7 gates. He should be aggressive with this. Prome should be pushing out. Back at home as Shameless is getting ready. Now Shameless, he has yet to confirm the expansion, but I believe is soon moving out with another hallucination. Should soon move out. Prome likewise doing the same. Shameless trying to secure himself. I wonder if this 3rd base is a response to being scouted. Do wonder, as Prome has not been warping in. He finishes up all the gates and he has not warped in. So it does feel like this is a reaction. He confirms the army, confirms no 3rd. He's checking. There's no expansion. Hallucination dives in, and Prome attempts to deny the scouts, but won't quite be able to.
I'm here.
As Shameless confirms there is a base, now he knows that he has in a way been duped. Despite the gateway explosion, no warp-ins. Prome has been expanding, focusing on the economy, and now there's pressure on Shameless. He has to move out. Does have to counterattack. Prome does have the Stalker advantage, but that's going to be 3 Immortals, not going to be easy. And Prome, he misses the army. He does miss a rotation. 3rd base is going to go down. Massive pick off. He gets 1, he gets 2 sentries. Prome, he races back home. And by the time he does, the base takes a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. Nice pickup. Shameless does save the Immortals. Does pull them back. 1 Immortal goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. Ugh, doesn't quite get the 3rd though. Yeah, the trades are too brutal, and Shameless, he does take a lead. Yeah, takes the fight. Gets us off the expansion. And Prome is getting caught out completely here. Trying to engage himself. But with the help of the Warp Prism, the reinforcements here on the front lines. Shameless is getting out of hand. Oh, nice snipe with the Prism. Prism goes down. Prome, he's trying to hold on, but again, he's still up against a massive army. And Prome, he's not going to clean this up. He takes down the final Immortal. But Prome, he's still got down to 7 Stalkers. Down to 7. The expansion should fall. Yeah, 1 more volley. Gets picked up. Blinks forward. That I'm less certain of. Shameless, calm down. Does swing forward. He gets away with it. Heads back against the Zealots. And from here, Prome is falling apart. Prome is just falling apart left and right. Get an impressive start here in game 1, but here in game 2, he was just unable to keep eyes on the main army. He didn't see the move out, didn't see the rotation. He completely missed Shameless. And with that, he lost the base. He lost the base, lost his army, lost everything. Now Shameless has a massive advantage. Getting into +2. His own gate setup. Rome is attempting to engage. He's attempting, but GG gets caught here. There's not enough to break this, and Shameless, he will tab the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Shameless will tie things up when we are going to the ace match. Ooh. Oh, also, big shout to Rebellion. A2P was founded by Ryung with some Korean players. Ah, there you go. There you go. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. GG, Rebellion. Rebellion just giving us some information here, and with that, we're going all the way to game 3. But yeah, from my understanding, Ryung, he did play StarCraft back in the day. We were actually looking him up a little bit, and we found his YouTube channel. He does a lot of Hearthstone content. But really cool to see that recently he did start playing StarCraft again. Don't know what kind of prompted him to. But it's really cool to see. And with that, we're getting into the ace match, getting into game number 3. Looks like we have our lower semifinals ready for us somewhat. It looks like Gerald takes on our 2-1, and Gerald is waiting for the winner of this best of 3. This could still go either way. We have our next opponent. So we know where we're headed. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner of Frost Lion, we have our blue Protoss player. Our blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. Oh, tying things up 1-1. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the teal Protoss player from South Korea representing clan A2P. It is Rome. Let's go. Yeah. It's cool to see some of the origins of the team. Great to see. So all the players are very active, and we have noticed them. We have noticed the A2P players. Have noticed. Great to see them. From here, we are going to be opening up. And we don't really expect too much deviation here when it comes to the openers. You know, 2-gate openers all around. We saw that Prome was able to pop off in the first game with a proxy, with some cheese, with some aggression, with some all-ins. But now we load into a larger map. And on this larger map, I would expect to see more economic openers instead. No workers out on the map yet for Prome. Probe Scout for Shameless. Once again, 0 Probe Scout for Prome. He's not really too concerned. Doesn't check across the map. Doesn't move out. So far throws down his second pylon, so there is no proxy. Just a 2-gate opener. Everything looks normal. Likewise, everything looking normal from Shameless as well. Shameless does have the opportunity to be cheesy himself, especially without a Probe Scout, but doesn't go for it. Doesn't need to. Again, I'm sure Shameless just wants to get into the mid-game. Just wants to get into a longer game. Let him in, Bobby, let him in. Shameless, who does reinforce, does move out. Oh, Black gets the first couple of volleys off. Nice start. Shameless almost takes down a Stalker. Very strong start for our blue Protoss. Pylon, sorry, probe is being kept hidden. Setting up for potentially a proxy pylon. Okay, does expand. Calm down. Does expand. Doesn't throw down the... still throws down the pylon though. Never mind. But only to reinforce. Only for slow warp bins. The probe does a bin in the pylon. Does race back home. Nothing committed here. Do have a Twilight Council opener out of Prome. And a third gateway. Uh-oh. That's going to be a 3-gate setup here. No expansion. Long distance mining. Prome bleeding out one of the Stalkers. A rough loss set for Prome. But this is a setup for a 1-base all-in. He's setting up for a 1-base all-in. The boys are being pulled. Prome is trying to hold on. Bleeds out a pylon. Gets supply blocked. Despite all the gateways, yeah, has to throw down 2 more pylons. Brutal supply block for Prome. It will slow him down. And Shameless, he pulls away. Pulls away, back at home. Robo opener, very safe play out of Shameless. Safety shield battery on the low ground this time. Playing very carefully. And now he needs to figure out, is there an expansion? Is there a Nexus? Hallucination moves out across the map. Boom. Oh, does intercept. Oh no! Does try to. Oh, barely does. Whew. Shuts down the hallucination. Denies the scout. Shameless moving out with a second hallucinated Phoenix. He does need to confirm. As Prome does throw down the Nexus, by the way. I mean, it's still being hyper aggressive, but there we go. Nexus is seen. Despite that, the pylon has been thrown down, and here comes Prome. Does have the higher Stalker count, almost double the Stalker count. And can he break that natural? This time, Shameless is in a better position. This time, he's got 2 shield batteries. Mortal is pinned back. There's that 4th gateway, so it's going to be 4-gate blink. Gate blink out of Prome. I need my magnifying glass. No. We got this. The shields are triggered. I'm loving the shuffling here of the Immortals. Does pull back the weakened Immortal. Does pull him back. Sets up the Concave. And against Shameless, he is ready to receive. Prome is still trying to reinforce. More bringing more Stalkers. 3rd Immortals on the way. Again, this time just a much stronger start for Shameless. In game 1, Shameless, who was losing Immortal after Immortal early on, this time is building up to a 3rd Immortal. Shields get triggered. Once again, I want to see him shuffle those Immortals around. Go through fakes an Immortal. Let's go. Does hallucinate. The weakened Immortal is a little bit far forward, though, which is a concern. Stalkers, they dive in. Oh, trigger the shields. Oh, he gets baited. Oh no! Does get baited. Does bait out 3 volleys. So wasted DPS there by Prome. Shameless, he's buying enough time. Now he's up to 3 Immortals. Oh. Likewise. Okay, we're good. Whew. Likewise. Setting up, taking more gases. Getting into his own charge. There was a bit of a stutter there in game. That might be one of the other casters. I was checking us. Yep. Oh. I say caster. It might be one of the players, actually. So hopefully everything's okay. But there might be, might be some latency issues. And now is not the time, right? Like, we're about to come into an all-in. We're about to engage. Now is not the time for some latency. So hopefully things do clear up. Oh. Okay, there we go. Coming back. Hopefully we do. We're okay. From here, in regards to the all-in, Prom he is on 2 bases, but he's still down in workers. He's down in workers, getting to charge. Beautiful. We're back. As soon as we came back, I did notice the starter there. Did notice. Jeez, oh, it's a 4 immortals. Shameless back up to 4. Oh, Shameless, yeah, from here he can chase him down. Stalkers are falling. Prom cannot fight this head on. That does go for the dive. He gets 1. Takes down 1 immortal, going for the 2nd as well. But this is coming at a cost. He's going to lose far too much here. That was not worth it for Prom. Bleeds out how many? Bleeds out 12. Oh god, 12 stalkers for 2 immortals. That was insane. Proxy gets found. And as it falls, Shameless he can push. He can just move out across the map. He has a recall if need be. Shameless can't commit. And Prom is in trouble. Charge is going to help, don't get me wrong. That will help, that will assist. Here come more Stalker and Zealot reinforcements. This charge just now finishing up. He's supply blocked. He can't warp in. Prom, he cannot warp in. He is supply blocked. Now is not the time. Forced to trade. As he bleeds out units, he can warp in more Zealots. A better concave for Shameless is pushing through. Zealots, they go for the dive. They try to break that concave. The immortals are still within range of the Stalkers, and we still have trade. Yeah, Shameless is overwhelming. He breaks through the defensive line, takes down the Zealots, takes down the Stalkers. And Prom, he just cannot keep up. Not like this. Goes for a Zealot warp in, trying to hold on. But he's still up against 2 immortals. Poise are being pulled. A moment of desperation here from Prom. But alas, he can't hold. He cannot hold on. He's going to be broken. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shameless, he will claim the series, will advance on. My condolences to Prom. He played very well making it to this series. I did not expect Prom to even take down 3 points, but Prom, he was able to pop off. He did make it this far, even forced the ace match against Shameless. But alas, that is as far as Prom will go, as Shameless makes it to the semis. GG. GG, well played. Again, just really strong response by Shameless to set up defensively to get ready for the all-in. In the end, he was able to deflect beautifully. He preserved the immortals. This was a stark contrast to game 1. Remember, game 1, Shameless got caught with his pants down. Game 2, game 4, we saw that Shameless, he was much more prepared, took it much more seriously, was so persistent with his scouting, with his response, with his defense. GG. GG, well played. Shameless, he will advance on, and the question becomes, who's going to be our first finalist? Let's go. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves, as we have the lower semifinals ready for us. Up next is going to be a PvP between Gerald and Shameless. Gerald has been patiently waiting. He just took down Art 2-1, went to the ace match. Did go to the ace match, but Gerald did claim the series. And with that, we have our lower PvP. The lower semifinals, the lower PvP is ready for us. Likewise, the upper matches are still ongoing. Ryung finally has a series. He's up against BabyMarine in the quarterfinals, and the winner goes up against Percival. So regardless of how this series or how this tournament turns out, we do have a Protoss confirmed for the finals and a Terran confirmed for the finals as well. So it's going to be a Protoss versus Terran finals. The question becomes, which representatives are we going to have? Who will make it through? I do favor Gerald coming into this series, but Shameless is still a very strong player, and I would not be surprised if we get an ace match. Would not be surprised. Likewise, I want to believe that Shameless can bring Gerald down. I believe he has it in him, but Gerald is favored here. Let's go. Gerald is favored. So we are setting up. TLMC qualifier starting in a couple of minutes on Wardy's channel. Oh no, not like this. Imagine all scheduling over each other. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a shame. Especially because I feel like a lot of players do want to compete in the qualifier. Hopefully that isn't the only qualifier for the TLMC. I'm hoping there's like 2 or 3, but that is concerning. Just because I'm sure a bunch of our players want to play in the qualifier. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I mean, I guess thankfully, I think there are invites for Wardy's events, so at least invites are going to be handed out. Here we go. Videos are underway, and we have our lobby, we have our setup, we have our matches. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Amygdala. Sounds like it's the only qualifier, so hopefully there's enough slots. Most invites, yeah. It's. I mean, the TLMC events are usually invites anyway. But players like, you know, Gerald, Shameless, Ryung, like our semifinalists, I'm sure would want to play in the qualifier as well. Here we go. As we are setting up. Oh, there we go. You can hear the beast. We are jumping into our PvP. Yo, it's gonna be crazy if we finish up this matchup and Ryung and BabyMarine are still going on. That's gonna be insane. Hoping that isn't the case, but I am getting concerned. Yo, Esther Luna, see, Papi, where have you been? Where have you been, Pat? Aye. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bet on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. So we jump into our semifinals. Here we go. And again, Shameless and Gerald, they're both regulars in our tournaments. Gerald, he's a tuna himself. He has won his own fair share of sparkling tunas. This week there is no Cristiano, there is no Skillless, there is no Björn. So I would even say Gerald is the favorite to potentially win it all, at least to make it to the finals. Again, for those that are curious, both Skillless and Björn are otherwise preoccupied with the Pigsty Festival, so they're not available. Unfortunately, not this week. But that does give the opportunity to some of these other players to rise up in their place, to claim that tuna, to be sparkling. As Shameless does come with the Pro Scouts, making sure that nothing is amiss. Gerald, he has been known to proxy from time to time, so Shameless just ensuring that is not the case. Does come in, 2-gate opener here from Gerald, likewise 2-gate opener for Shameless. So far, mirrored builds, and the pylon is placed in the main. And Shameless confirms. So with this, he confirms that there is no proxy. Likewise, Gerald also should be doing the same. Yeah, does confirm. So both players are aware. And from here, we'll see how we deviate. As we're getting into this, a big shout out to Captain Fish in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for becoming a new patron. I mean, you can't quite see the goals yet, but we do have our Patreon set up, of course, to fund this event. If you want to help support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, see Duckling Open and Masters One Open as well, you can do so via Patreon. You can also gain benefits as well, as you can also gain replay packs for either being a subscriber on Twitch or becoming a patron. And again, all the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. We are so close to reaching our goal to help boosting the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna. Again, we almost reached the goal earlier, but unfortunately we did get a couple of cancellations on Patreon, so alas, we are not quite there yet, but we're almost, buddy, almost. So close to the goal. And that is to pay out top 4 instead of just top 2 in this tournament. Almost there. Yo, shout out to the juice. Shameless getting juiced up. Takes down the initial probe. Moves out, dances with the main army, but should not quite break through this. Gerald is in position. Meanwhile, we have a take of choice. Twilight Council out of the Shameless, working towards Blink. Gerald delaying his tech, but about to throw it down. Probe is in position. There we go. Twilight Council's on the way. Both players are going to be opening Blink. There's going to be a small window where Shameless has Blink over his opponent. Likewise, still has the higher Stalker count as well. But it's not going to be enough to break the shield battery. Yeah, not quite. Shameless backs up. He pulls away, he backs off, claims the third. And now we can settle in. Now, really what we're looking for here is extra gateways. We're looking for gateway explosions. We're looking for forges, looking for faster third bases, any earlier tech. Any signs of aggression or greed is what we're looking for. Speaking of aggression, that is going to be a third gateway on the way for Gerald. Interesting. Now, a 3-gate setup here can just be very safe. It can be very safe. It can be 3 gates into a third base, or Gerald could throw down a 4th gateway as well. So my eyes are on Gerald. As we are still building up. Twilight Council now done. Robo's on the way behind this. Blink has, there we go. Blink now starting up as well. Oh, but there it is. 4th gate. Okay. Let's go. Gerald, he's setting up on 4 gateways. There is a probe in position to expand, but the hallucination will confirm the gate count. Sees 2 gateways towards the top side, and we'll see 2 gateways here at the ramp as well. So Shameless, he counts the gateways. He knows that we have a gateway explosion. Proxy Pylon gets shut down. Gerald looks like he is getting ready for the expansion. But I'm curious if with this rover, I'm curious if he goes for a War Prism. Because he could be expanding as he pushes. Which is not uncommon. Shameless just goes straight for the third. Again, Shameless going for the third base off of 2 gateways, which is more what we expect. So 2 gates into third expansion. Gerald setting up shield batteries. Observer. No prism. So this is just really safe play out of Gerald. So it's really safe play, going for the extra gateways, now going for the forge. Because of this, it's a little bit inefficient, because most likely he isn't actually making use of these gateways. He actually isn't warping in. I'm curious if a big reason for this is the hallucination. Remember, the base was scouted, the main base was scouted by the hallucination. It's possible that Gerald, he chose to pivot away from any kind of all-in because of the scout. So now Gerald, he does move out. Shameless now going for his gates. So again, more efficient here from Shameless. Going for later gateways. Only getting them as he needs them. Charge on the way. So Shameless just embracing that gateway style, that Swarm Toss composition. Meanwhile, Gerald, he is going for earlier Immortal production, or just Immortals in general. So Gerald is going to have a more robust army. Going Stalker Immortal. This can lead into a faster Bay. Gerald is very fond of Robotics Bays. If he can get away with it, he will skip Charge, he will skip Archon production in favor of Disruptors. If he can get away with it. Gerald does poke forward. Does poke in. It ups a shade towards that natural. Probe's going to be going down. And this is getting out of hand here. 3, 4, 5 probe kills. Oh my god, getting it to 7? 8? 9? Oh god, 8. I mean, 9, yeah, 9 workers. Oh my god. I guess 9 probes in total. It gets up to 10 towards the end. That should not have happened. 10 probe kills. 11? 12? 11 workers. Aye, aye, aye. And with that, with only 2 adepts, Gerald takes a massive lead. Takes a massive economic lead. Shameless taking a 4th base, still building up. Has to replenish all his workers. Going to charge all Archon. Gerald has yet to start his own Temple Archives. No archives for Gerald. Ah, just now. Okay, so he is going into a more standard setup here of Charge Archon. He's getting there. Of course, Shameless is faster as heck up, and Shameless already has Archons. Already has them ready. Yeah, ready, they are secure. And from here, he will move out. Likewise, Gerald's getting ready to receive. He has his own concave. He has those 3 immortals. Now, I do favor the player with the Archons initially here in this fight. Archons have so much potential against these Zealots. Speaking of, yeah, Zealots have to zone away. Immortals are trying to break through, getting on top of that first Archon. Massive shots going off on the Zealots, though. Archons are going to go down. Zealots, they melt against the Archons. And more reinforcements are coming in. Shameless, can he break through? Is trying to. More Zealots reinforced. Prison comes in to try to help support. Does pick up. Oh no! Does save the Immortals. Yeah, the Immortals are saved, but the base is still being broken. Oof. As the Prism did go down. Did he kill his own Prism? Did that just happen? No. Okay, Shameless got it. Shameless did snipe it. And again, now we finally get Archons for Gerald, but is it too late? Is it too little too late? I think it is. Yeah, Shameless, he has done it. He breaks through the defensive line. Takes down the Stalkers, takes down the Immortals. Again, the Archons with the MVPs for Shameless. Does respect the Immortals, though. Does respect. Gerald, he's holding on. At least for now. He's holding. Archon gets targeted. More reinforcements have arrived. Very nice force fields. Locks down the Immortal. Now there's 1 Immortal left. Shameless again, he's so close to breaking Gerald. So close. Will now saturate. Gerald, he survives. And he holds. Whew. Did lose a lot in the process. Lost Archons, Immortals, the expansion. Shameless does take an economic lead. Likewise, Shameless had an upgrades, +3 on the way. And Gerald is yet to be in his zone. He has to counterattack. The pressure is on. Shameless racing over, currently out of position. I will get here in time. It does get here. He rotates once again, keeping up. Better concave for Shameless. Does move forward. Zealots are trying to bust in, and they will. Shameless is breaking through that front line, getting on top of those Stalkers. Gerald trying to reinforce. Does open in time. Oh, but there's still so much more behind this for Shameless. Yeah, he's breaking through. He breaks through the defensive line once again for the 2nd time. Takes down the Prism, takes down the Immortals. And he shuts Gerald down completely. GG gets called. Gerald, he was all in. And Shameless, he will hold. He will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Shameless for the first fight and here in the second big fight as well. I mean, again, he did have the greater army, had the greater tech. Those earlier Archons, they played heavily into that first fight going in favor of Shameless. We saw that Gerald, he had a really heavy Zealot force, but against those 3 Archons, the Zealots, they were zoned away. They could not really do much of anything, and we saw Gerald's supply plummet as a result, as his own Zealots were almost ineffective. And with that, Shameless was more efficient, able to get on top of the Stalkers a lot faster, able to get on top of the Immortals, and with that, GG. GG, well played, as Shameless still snowballed out of control with that first fight. And with that, Shameless needs one more win to make it to the finals. And that would be a big win here. Shameless and Gerald, again, I do rate Shameless quite highly, of course, as always, but I still do favor Gerald here. And I'm curious, actually, if we've ever seen Shameless defeat Gerald. Un momento. One moment here, just quickly checking. So that would be a big win. Let's go head to head. Head to head, Gerald and Shameless. I'm sure they played plenty of times. They're both very active in the online tournament scene. Let us have a look. Okay, Jesus, they play very often, actually. Oh, that's interesting. They play very often in 2024, but they actually apparently haven't played this year in 2025. That's crazy. Okay, they're playing each other for the first time this year. It is a 90% win rate in favor of Geralt, by the way. 90%, which is, again, very, very high. Is insane. But Shameless, he's close. He's so close to claiming that series, that first series of the year. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our blue Protoss. Representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0, it is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Atlanta, Poland. Representing Streamer Zone, it is Gerald. Here we go. We are setting up. We are settling in. So far, we do have our openers, nothing too crazy. I say that Shameless does actually move out with an earlier probe this time, going for a scout. After taking a lead, looks like Shameless is a little bit paranoid. He doesn't want to get caught out. Doesn't want to get caught with his pants down. It's going to be that 2-gate opener. Probe dips in, and the probe is here looking for the pylon. That is the name of the game of early game PvP. Shameless just searching for that pylon, making sure that nothing is amiss. Make sure that everything's as it should be. Speaking of, second pylon has been thrown down. And with that, there is no proxy from Geralt. Likewise, Shameless also throwing down his own second pylon. Geralt does confirm. Both players are aware. And with that, there is no aggression early on. Not yet. So we can settle in. Do have Geralt setting up his own expansion. Likewise, Shameless looking to do the same. Geralt is in position to pylon block. Speaking of, there it is. Pylon block from Geralt. Shameless already getting zoned back. Shameless already forced away, and now we can expand. Geralt, he starts up 2 Zealots. Wait, what? Okay. I was a little bit confused for a moment. Cancels the Zealots, starts up the expansion. Geralt faking aggression. Shameless behind this. I mean, he reacts. He makes another pair of Stalkers first. Does reinforce with extra Stalkers. He'll now move out. Shameless does have a bit of a power spike here with extra Stalkers. And the hallucination won't quite see this. Doesn't quite confirm. Shameless pushing towards that natural. Likewise, Gerald is in position. He can force field. Speaking of, he does catch out one of the Stalkers. Yeah, very nicely done. Looks down a Stalker. Shield battery comes into play. Oh, the Stalker does barely not escape. Whew. Shameless almost got away. Not quite able to trading 1-to-1. Now 1-to-1 trade. Gerald's a little bit too far away from that shield battery. And with that, Shameless, he does step out. An even trade so far. Does pull away. Now, something that I find interesting here is that when it comes to the follow-up, Gerald is going for faster blink, Twilight counts into blink play. Shameless is being more defensive, going for immortal production instead. Now, I say more defensive. As Shameless does find the pylon, does force a cancel. Gerald is moving out. I say more defensive. We should be seeing just immortal production into a third base, into more turtle-y play here from Shameless. This can turn into aggression. We can see like Twilight Council into glaives, for example. We can see immortal into a prism early on. We could see Shameless try to push with the immortal before blink finishes. There are some aggressive options here for Shameless, but in a standard game state, we should just be being defensive. First immortal has arrived, second immortal's on the way. Into a Twilight Council. So Shameless is not pushing. He's not moving out anytime soon. He's being more defensive. We should soon be seeing a third base. I say we should soon be seeing a third. That's going to be a third gateway. And does Shameless go for glaives? That's the big thing that I'm looking for, as that is going to be a 4-gate setup. He's on 4 gateways. Hallucination does see everything in the main. It's so difficult to hide tech in this matchup because of those hallucinations. And Gerald, he does take a third base. He does expand. He's being greedy. Setting up a proxy to reinforce across the map. Relying quite heavily here on Mass Blink Stalker. And Shameless is going for Blink. Meanwhile, Gerald's going for Charge. So based on this Blink follow-up here, we have a Forge on the way for +1, Blink as well. I'm still leaning towards an expansion for Shameless. We'll keep an eye on him. But now Gerald, he does maintain map control, he does reinforce. Is moving out. Likewise, force fields. They look down one of the immortals. Oh, they force a. Oh my god, they force a recall. That's the first immortal does go down. Massive pickup. Yeah, Gerald, he's shutting this down. There's one immortal left, barely standing. And it's going to be targeted. Massive pickup here once again. Down to Pele Stalker. Only Stalkers remain. Reinforcements take a long time to come in. That pushes the gateway. It's a ways away. Shameless is holding for now. But there's no third base. There's no expansion. And Gerald, his own throne, is getting up and running. His own third base is getting fully operational. Gerald is in a better position here. And now we have more gates? Jesus. More gates on the way. This is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in from Shameless, as he is not and cannot expand. Force back. Meanwhile, big shout to Moritori in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for 14 months of support over a year. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the support in the chat. We do appreciate it. As we're in the semifinals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. And Shameless is committed. The problem here, though, is that as he moves out, we can see that Gerald, he is ready to dive in. Oh. Shameless. He keeps up. Does get a free Stalker. Oh. Gets two. Takes down 2 Stalkers. Charge is done. Oh, and Zealous trades so well against this kind of army. There's no Archons and Stalkers. They're falling one after the other against Zealots of all things. And Shameless is being overwhelmed. He's being overwhelmed here and now. With brutal losses. And last miss control out of Shameless. Doesn't save the Immortal. Gonna be forced back. GG gets called. And Gerald, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We are going all the way to game 3. Again, Shameless just stuck on 2 bases. Ideally, to pull off this 2-base all-in, you want to build up that immortal count over time, but alas, he was shut down time and time again. He just could not build up those immortals. Likewise, Gerald, he was just all over the scouting. He saw everything coming his way with those hallucinations. He did notice kind of the weak point as well of Shameless, and just shut him down. GG. GG, well played. Just very assertive play there from Gerald. Not overly aggressive. Remember, he was expanding behind it. He was just maintaining map control, picking off key units. And with that, we're going to the ace match. Going all the way to game 3. We go. Oh. As it all ends here. It all ends on our final map. It all ends... Where exactly? On Ultra Love. Let's go. Meanwhile, it looks like we just got an update here from the upper matches. The upper semifinals is also ready for us. So we're about to wrap up our lower semifinals. Then we're gonna be heading over to the Korean server, as Ryung did just take down BabyMarine 2-0, and we have Ryung versus Percival up next in the upper semis. Let's go. The mirror matchups continue, Pappy. They continue. Let's go. Likewise, we kind of forget there's going to be a random raffle after this as well. It's going to be that random raffle. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy being forced into the ace match. Can he bounce back? Can he bring it home? It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player from Linda, Poland, representing Streamer Zone, tying up the series 1-1, forcing that ace match. It is Gerald. Here we go. Whew. So far, we have had some pretty aggressive games. We haven't had too much early game aggression. Like, there's been no like proxy robos or proxy stargates or 1-base all-ins or anything like that. But typically off of a 2 or 3 base economy, that's what we've seen our players really pop off and really thrive. As we load into Ultra Love, and this does have a unique quirk. There is a ramp. There's a ramp coming into the natural. As a result, Shameless does go for an economic opener. It does go for a gate into Cybercore into expansion. So economic start here by Shameless. Meanwhile, Gerald's across the map going for a 2-gate opener. Interesting. So Shameless is playing standard as being economic. Gerald has the option to turn this into a 1-base all-in. Oh boy. So we'll keep our eye on Gerald here. Again, he isn't really one to 1-base all-in. He's not really that kind of player. So I'm not too convinced. But we'll see. Zealot's on the way. Now, this one probe is going to delay the expansion. It's forcing out a Zealot. It's likewise delaying the expansion. Potentially forcing out some tech as well. Forcing out a Stargate. Forcing a delay on the natural. As there's that pylon block. That's why the Zealot has arrived to focus on the pylon. To eventually expand. We go. Oh god, as we get a second pylon. Second pylon gets thrown down. Oh, Shameless, he just wants an Nexus. He has the money for it. You have to 450, 460, 470 for 500 minerals. Oh, big delay. As he refuses to throw down a Stargate. As the sentry does pop, and now finally there's the expansion. So quite late expansion. Meanwhile, Gerald, he is setting up a pylon. I was about to say that he's not really 1-to-1 base all-in, but this pylon says otherwise. Now, this could just be to reinforce. It could just be a reinforcing pylon. Otherwise, we could see a proxy gateway. We could see a proxy gate, and we could just keep rallying across the map. There's potential. Hallucination coming in, confirming there is still no expansion. Gerald, he will soon have the money for it. He has to make a choice. Nexus or gateway? Makes the choice. Nexus. Nexus on the way. Head up, say move out. Shameless just now getting his own second gate into a Twilight Council. Gerald, he does proxy. is a delayed proxy gateway for Gerald, but on the way nonetheless. Adepts initiate in, they do not quite get past the wall. Shameless does lock it down. Likewise, does catch one of the Adepts. Adept does fall. Hiding back, trading with the army. Ooh, does catch out the Stalker. Nice pick up there from Shameless. But trades 1-to-1. Gerald, he does pull away. Does back up. He will lead the army to the proxy, though. Not quite. Shameless, he does not scout. He does not confirm. Gerald going for his own delayed blink. Gerald, can he break this? He is close. Right now, Shameless is over in his main. Not quite in position. Let's say thread in the shade. Oh. Back at home, Gerald just freely probing. Still reinforcing though. Keeping the pressure on. Keeping it up. Oh, nice, very nice force fields. Does force a recall. And he gets one Stalker, almost an Adept. Very nice catch here by Shameless. He has been out trading. And he throws down 2 more gates. So he's setting up for a 4-gate setup. He has yet to expand. Gerald has to make a choice. He himself, either extra gateways, which he does go for, or a 3rd base. So he's building up more gates, getting to a 5-gate setup. It's a lot of gateways. So 2 base versus 2 base. He does keep reinforcing. Again, I don't really think Gerald intends to commit into an all-in. I mean, I say that. He throws down another gateway. Gee, he's getting up to 6. 6 gates. Probe moves out. There we go. Gerald is now going to expand. Does feel like he's just trying to be safe. Getting caught out there. He has to reinforce. Shameless trying to break free, pushing into a concave. Yeah, it's not going to work out for him. Has to pull away. And Shameless is the first to expand. Likewise, Gerald's in position. He has the option. Does he go for a warp in? He's not going to be able to. Yeah, warp in's not available. Going for a title. Let's go. Going for a Dark Shrine. Going for DTs. He rotates. He will force a cancel. Very nice pickup. Denies the 3rd of Shameless. Now Gerald, he can go for his own, and he will. Does go for the triangular 3rd. 3rd base is just now beginning. I believe the Dark Shrine was canceled. Yeah, did cancel the Dark Shrine. Did cancel. Shameless gaining ground. Breaks out. Looks like Gerald did recognize that there was already a robo. There was already a detection. Shades into the natural. He can one-shot probes. He's peeking with the mineral line. Shameless, he counterattacks. Goes for the expansion. Catching out Stalkers. And he has to commit. Immortal taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. The Immortal is going to go down, but better concave regardless for Shameless. He does outtrade. Does take a massive lead. Takes the supply lead. Gerald at least saves the Nexus. Armies are building up. Shameless has momentum. Again, that was just a much stronger fight for Shameless. So building up into charge. Into charge slots. Eventually into Archons. More gates being thrown down. It's been an intense early game, but we're getting to the mid game. We're getting there. Haha. Almost there. Also, Gerald, he just killed the cleaner, but just wants to be dirty. Nice snipe. Pylon, Shameless pulls away. Doesn't want to push into that immortal. Not like this. Gerald does snipe the Observer. Observer goes down. Shameless pulls away. Now, I'm getting some Game 1 vibes. If you were here for Game 1, you would know that Shameless, he was able to overwhelm and bring Gerald down with the earlier Temple Archives, with earlier Archons. That's what we're seeing here. Temple Archives is done, and Archons are going to be on the way. So even though Geralt might have a even larger army with more Zealots, the Zealot reinforcements are going to be quite limited here in their effectiveness because of the Archon production. And that was a big factor in Game 1, and we could see that here in Game 3 as well. Zealots are coming in. Archons are, well, they have arrived. The first one at least. And with that Shameless, he can collapse on the army. Archon is going to be targeted though. He's going to be targeted down. Tanks a lot of shots. With that Shameless does have the concave. The boys are being pulled. But can he get on top of those Immortals? They're doing so much damage in the back line. And he did lose that Archon. Geralt, he's out trading. He's breaking through. Against mainly Stalkers, these Immortals, they can pop off. They can, and they will. He has 2 prisms. He has 2 prisms. Yeah, the Immortals get saved. 1 prism goes down, but there's another to take its place. Yeah, Geralt is fine. He has more than enough. Breaks through the main army. Goes to the expansion. Next is going to fall. You can see Shameless coming in from behind. He wants that prism. He will get it. Sure, he's like, wait, what the hell? Like, there's 2? There was. Does catch both. Both prisms go down. More Zealots reinforcing. And they will collapse on this. Geralt, he has no Archons himself. These Zealots, they trade very well. And this time, there's no prism to save the Immortals. They're being targeted down one after the other. Geralt, he overextends. Will lose both Immortals. Hefty losses for Geralt. Very expensive. Lost both prisms, or lost both Immortals. Has to pull away. Both players on 3 bases. Shameless does take the supply lead. And I favor Shameless's army here. Geralt, he's stuck with purely Stalker Zealots. He's now working towards his own Archons, but this is late. It's late for Geralt. He was hoping to end the game before that. But he's going for a split push. Stalkers on the right, and Zealots towards the left. And Shameless is not in position. He is not in position. Does he have a recall? As he moves out, he responds with almost everything. Thankfully, he does leave some Zealots behind. He does defend. Does defend. Pulls back. Does consolidate his forces. Likewise, coming from behind, the Archons are still not morphed in. Yeah, these are still better fights for Shameless. Pushes forward. 1 Archon now is ready. And does get a couple of volleys off. But last is so much more here available for Shameless. Yeah, he should still break through. Shuts down Geralt, and may for the first time this year, as they face off against each other, Shameless, he will start off with a win. He will overwhelm the army. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take the series 2-1, taking down Geralt and advancing on, I believe for the first time this year, to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Shameless. He will take down Geralt, will bring him down, and will advance on. And Shameless, with a twist of fate, does make it to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh. Shameless, he will claim the series. And with that, we have our next semis ready for us. Let's go. Let us go. As we head on over here to the Korean server, as we have our first Protoss finalists, but we are here to confirm our Terran finalists as well. Beautiful. As it is going to be that TBT between Ryung and Percival. Setting up. So just don't want to wait, make our players wait too long here. But there we go. We have Ryung, we have Percival. It is going to be a TVT coming into this. Of course, Ryung, he is the TVT sniper. That is what he's known for. That is his strongest matchup. Even players like Björn, even players like Clem could not stand before the might of Ryung. So this is not going to be an easy matchup here. It's not going to be an easy matchup. For Percival. Dude, as they are currently connecting the Veeders. Veeders are underway. Catching the bracket. Me waiting till 33 minutes this match to end in. What do you see TLMC? Oh no. Oh. Oh, do they check into that event as well? Oh. Beautiful. Este Jimmy. Hold on, what time is it? Germany time. God damn it. God damn it. But here we go. We have our semifinals. Imagine waking up at 1 p.m. Este Jimmy. Make it short and let him play. Oh no. But yeah, for now, I guess we're going to be going on a short break. Looks like our players need a little bit of time, and then when we come back, we will have our TVT. See you soon. See you soon. Oh. And here we go. We are back with our second semifinals of the night, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from South Korea. It is Percival. We have our TVT, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Coming into this, Ryung, he is the heavy favorite. He is the reigning, or he is the only player left actually in the tournament that has won a Tuna Cup. But despite that, Percival, he has been popping off. He has been improving over time ever since he has returned from his absence, from his retirement. Ever since his return, he's been getting better and better results, and we'll see if he can bring it to Ryung. Let's go. Let us go. So now double gas open out of Percival, double gas out of Ryung. We have mirrored builds, we have mirrored setups. From here, going into faster factories, into delayed CCs. We go into our delayed setups. With this, we can commit into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go for early Cyclone production instead. We have options. We have options with how both Ryung and Percival want to approach this matchup. In general, we should not be seeing one base all-ins. Technically, that is an option, but no shot. Like this is not Hacker is top. Should be expanded. should be expanding. So we have Percival moving out. Does move out. Likewise, Ryung going reactor first into Reactor Reaper Hellion. So a more aggressive start here by Ryung, as he does delay his CC even further. Just now on the way is going to be delayed. The Reaper has arrived, zones away the SCV, but doesn't stick around too long. He knows that he's on a timer. Gets the hell out of there. Reapers move out, and Percival, he races back home. And Ryung, he's continuing Reaper production. Continuing Reapers, continuing Hellions. Percival, he also goes for his own Reactor Reaper Hellion as well. Got here in a different way. He went Reaper first, not Reactor. But both players building up. They're building up their forces. We'll see where this leads us. To have extra Hellions building up. Percival, he moves that towards the left hand side, and the armies that will clash. Yeah, they do meet. Yeah, massive pickoff. He gets one, he gets two. Oh, this is a rough start for Percival. Has to get the hell out of here, has to pull away. Bleeds out one of the Hellions already, and it's going to be a one-way trip. It's going to be a one-way trip here, and Percival, he will get on top of the SCV. He gets one. Not even. SCV survive. Reaper's being hunted down. He's gonna lose everything, but he's buying time right now. That's his goal. He brings us all the way back home, back into the main. Back at home, what do we have? Cyclone production. We need cyclones, we need marines, we need bunkers, we need everything to defend, everything to hold on. As Ryung, he is now moving out. Now he knows that he didn't miss the Hellion. The Hellion is still alive, but he will find it. He will get the lock on. Ooh, shuts down the Hellion. And now there's nothing keeping Ryung back. It's time to push. It's time to commit. Back at home, Percival, he needs more time for the tank. The tank is still a couple of seconds away. It's going to be close. The tank should spawn in a couple of seconds. Just now. Yeah, tank has arrived. Marine's going to be falling. Massive pickoffs. Yeah, bleeds out all the Marines. Does get on top of that cyclone, trades 1 for 1, but the tank holds. The tank does hold. Ryung, he picks up, he rotates over into the main. Behind this, still reinforcing with his own tank. But Percival's in position. Yeah, he's ready for it. He's ready for the fire. Ready. Building up his own Ravens. Likewise, so is Ryung. Ryung, he does slip into the main, but this is tank in position. And so far, Percival, he holds. Does hold well. Third CCs are on the way for both players. Both players are expanding. Do you have Stim on the way for Percival, getting into Bio? Ryung, what do you have for us? Bio as well. Thank God. I was a little bit concerned it was going to be mech. A little bit, but thankfully it's gonna be bio instead. So as you see, Ryung is zoned away. Nicoract goes down, a little bio as well. Nice catch. Ryung trying to be cheeky. Moving in. Okay. Thankfully, he doesn't play. He was playing with fire. Ryung, he backs the hell off, doesn't commit. And we have a game. We have a game for ourselves. Percival, he gets a third base. Ryung gets his third as well. Whew, we're going to be here for a while. We're building up. We're settling in. So we are going to back off and turtle up. And we will enter the mid-game. From here, getting ready for a 4th CC, getting to 1-1 upgrades. Now, there is, of course, a drop play potential. But the thing here is that you can see Ryung, he's not making any medevacs. 0 medevac production, pure Viking. Just pure Viking out of Ryung. With this Ryung, he will maintain air control, and he wants to take advantage of this higher tank count. Meanwhile, Percival, he did incorporate a couple of medevacs first. Percival, he has 2 Vikings so far, and he's making more medevacs. Ooh, so basically, Ryung, he will have air control. Instead, Percival will have more mobility. He will have mobility here for drop play, for picking up units, pulling back. But is that going to be worth it? Speaking of Marines, they do get across the map. Not bad. 3 CV kills. There are reinforcements. Ryung holds. Turns around for a moment. Percival does scan. Does spot the retreat. Ryung, he's up 1 tank so far. Now going into delayed medevacs. Ryung doesn't quite move out. Pulls back home. And we should be expanding. There we go. 4 CCs on the way for Percival, and we should soon see one for Ryung as well. Should see a 4th CC momentarily. As from here, we're building up. Now, Percival, he is being active. You can see him skirting around with his Marines, with his drop play. Likewise, Vikings in position to deny drops as well. Percival, he's looking for an opening. And he gets spotted. Does get spotted. Tanks they reposition. Vikings as well. And Percival, he retreats. Like, at this level, if you get spotted, whether it's with a Marine, a pylon, a depot, you respect your opponent enough to be in position. Percival with the pre-siege. Up! Tank boy's going up. Oh my god! Yeah, Ryung gets punished. Was not expecting those tanks. Nice start for Percival. It's a nice start. Forcing Ryung back. Percival the first to expand. In general, Percival, he has a slight edge over Ryung, but only slight edge. Like, it's one of those things where in TVT, you can be down 20 supply and you can still take a fight. Like, you can still overcome that with better positional play. 2 more starports. We can see Percival getting ready for Mass Viking into Sky Terran. Sky Terran is the go-to late game composition you want. Vikings, Liberators, Ravens as well. As air superiority is just so important in TVT. We're not there yet though. Vikings gonna be clashing. Nice missile goes off. It does everything. And Percival, he will claim the fight. Shuts down the bio. Marines go down. Percival, he's gaining ground. He's still taking better fights. Ryung, bring it together. We need to bring it together, Pat. Percival, he rotates. Likewise, Ryung rotating and trying to keep up as well. You know, with the main army, drops across the map. Vikings to engage. Better start for Ryung. Takes down the Ravens. Nice snipes. Ryung, he saves his own. He pulls away with his Vikings, with the Ravens as well. And we'll take the better trade. Just barely. Ryung, he wins the battle in the sky, and he keeps those Ravens alive. That's what's important. Percival going back to his own Raven production to replenish, to rebuild. Still no additional starports for Ryung, which is concerning. No starports, just the one. So Percival, he will soon overtake that Raven lead. Just now, starports begin. Ryung, he attempts to move out. Last attempt. Likewise, Percival stimming in. These lone tanks are exposed. He gets one. Takes down the tank, delays the starports. Yeah, important pickups. Steaming further into the main, catching out even more tanks. Not enough reinforcements. Boys are being pulled. And Percival, he's getting out of hand. At the same time, Ryung, he pushes in, but there's a line of tanks waiting for him. Yeah, the tanks are in position. They're ready. Ryung, he does not gain any ground. He will lose out 19 SCVs back at home. And Percival, so far still holding. Likewise, lost 9 SCVs to defend. Now, Ryung, he may have lost a bunch of workers, but he does have the army lead. Ryung, he's got more Marines. That's where most of the supply is the Marines. As Percival, he lost all of his own. As he did trade Marines for SCVs. Sorry, Ryung getting within range. Ravens are building up. Building up his Raven count. Ryung looking for another way in. Still maintains that siege line. He doesn't back up. I mean, my biggest concern here is the Raven count. The Raven count is getting higher and higher for Percival. And he will soon be able to disable every one of these tanks. Yeah, Ryung, he backs up for a moment. He's still in the center of the map. But Percival going for a massive backstab instead, going for the planetary. Ryung, he responds. Does respond coming in from behind, but he's going to be stuck on the low ground. Tanks do siege. Ryung, can he surround this? He can try. Oh, not bad. Yeah, brutal shots. Takes down the tank, takes down the massive amount of Marines. Percival is cut up. Oh, stims in. Does stim forward. Tanks are going down. Percival just getting picked apart here. Goes to the disables. So far, Percival, he will clean up those tanks. Nicely done. Again, the Ravens, they reign supreme. Ryung still across the map. We do see 6 Ravens now. 6 Ravens for Percival. Getting ready for more disables. He's getting ready. Lifts up the CC. Oh. Likewise getting caught in the center. Oof. Percival losing his army. He was supposed to flank. Not available anymore. Does go for the mass on siege. Oh. Doesn't go for it. Again, it feels like it's taking a long time, but there we go. Now he breaks out. Sends forward, cleans up every single tank here. But Ryung isn't done. He has already replenished that army. Moving out, going for the expansion. And what's important, one of the reasons why Percival is now down in supply here is the economy. He was denied mining. He's denied mining. Now more bases under fire. Marines, they stim in. They punish the Vikings. And this planetary is going to fall. Meanwhile, Ryung, his mining is untouched. Ryung, he's just happily mining. On 80 SCVs, he's maxed. Percival coming in from behind. Ryung is getting cornered. That's still a lot of Ravens. That's how many? That's 9. 9 Ravens for Percival. Ryung has to get the hell out of here. Does on siege. Pulling further back. Oh, and there kick on the massive stables. Ryung stims in. He does take down, what, 3-4 Ravens. You lose every single tank. Brutal loss here for Ryung. Quickly checking, that was what? That was 5 tanks for 6 Ravens. Okay. Back and forth trade. It's so important that the Ryung, he was able to snipe out as many Ravens as he could. Okay, that was 6. Percival attempts to expand. Ryung is ready. Does spot the expansion. Ryung stimming in. He wants that CC. Can he get it? Yeah, he should be able to. Takes down the tanks. Takes down CC. Takes down 2 tanks. Spots into the mineral line. Percival not taking this seriously. Ryung now can focus on the main fight. Still 7 Ravens here for Percival. But not much energy. Meanwhile, the base went down. Ryung still remaxing. Still wreaking havoc. Takes down depots, turrets, sensor towers. Ravens move in. Viking count also in favor of Percival. It's closer, takes down another tank. Percival creating an opening. Oh! Does shred that armor. And here we go. Freedom has arrived. We have the liberation zones, and now we have more Vikings. With that defender's advantage, the Vikings have arrived. Percival trying to stim in. Getting forced back. Likewise, Ryung catching reinforcements. Oh my god, gets a tank. Gets a free tank. Gets a Raven. Percival is racing back home. Better trades here for Ryung. He's going to be cleaned up though. From here, he should be cleaned up. We'll get 6 SCV kills. But Percival, he's all the way back home. He turns around, he races back home. Ryung, he holds. He still maintains that economy, all these bases, all the mining. And Ryung, once again, he will overwhelm. He just has the larger army as a result. He's so much faster to remax. I do prefer Percival's composition only feels maxed out. Like, he's got how many? He's got more Ravens, he's got more Vikings, or at least he's trying to. As he now is behind in the Viking count. Like, the faster double starboard and the faster Raven production has been crucial here to Percival's style. But the economy has been lacking. And now he has to commit. Oh, he's going to lose every single Raven. And there's just so many Vikings here for Ryung. The tanks are getting caught out, though. It's a lot of tank losses. Oh, but we cannot gain more ground. Yeah, the siege line is too good, and Ryung, he will clean up the army. Shuts everything down. The Ravens, the tanks, the medevacs. GG gets called, and Ryung, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Ryung does take a lead. Again, a very intense back and forth. Honestly, it was a better start for Percival. Percival, he had a stronger start. He had the faster triple starport, had the faster Raven production as well. But Ryung, he was able to claw his way back in. Some very crucial counterattacks and counter damage. Some better engagements at times as well. Ryung was able to just pick away at Percival, cripple the economy more importantly, and maintain his own. GG. GG, well played. Ryung does take a lead, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. GG. Getting ready for that second game. And we'll see how that story ends. We'll see where this takes us. We shall see. Oh. As we are getting to our next game. Are going to be loading into game 2. It's going to be on Ultra Love. So Ryung versus Percival does continue. As a reminder, Shameless is waiting for the winner of the series. Beautiful. And Ultra Love is going to be an interesting one. Ultra Love is a smaller map, but also, I mean, very defendable. There's a lot of choke points, there's a lot of ramps. We can definitely see the game slowing down on Ultra Love, which is going to be my biggest concern. So we'll see if we end up in another longer game. As a reminder, last game, like, we started things off aggressively as well with Master Reaper Hellion from both sides, but did slow down. We'll see if that happens again here in game 2. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our red Terran player, the Tuna himself. Oh my god, the Tuna Terran from South Korea, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean, the other South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, down in the series. But he had his moments in that last game. Can he bring it back? Can he force the ace match? It is Percival. Here we go. As the series does continue. Ooh, and we open up with a proxy instead. Okay, you have my attention. We have a proxy racks across the map. Not just one, two. Second SCV did move out, so proxy 2 racks here out of Percival. It's going to be 2 racks Reaper. Interesting position is what I will say. Typically, the standard location is going to be outside of the main to dive in. You make use of this Reaper cliff, but the position is maybe a little bit too obvious, and Ryung is checking, the standard proxy location. So Ryung, he does check. And Percival, he does benefit for the racks being elsewhere. I mean, it's a bit of a give and take. It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, yes, it is unscattered, it is unseen, but there's a reason for that, because it is further away. So that is going to hinder the Reaper production. Oh, my apologies. Only one gas back at home initially. This is not Proxy Reaper, it is Proxy Marauder. Oh boy. Okay, let's go. It is going to be Proxy Marauder instead. Tech Labs are finishing up, and Percival, he's gonna pop off. Now what's important here is that Ryung, he has CV scouts. He sees no racks. He sees missing racks. He also sees the delayed gas geyser as well. Ryung, he's somewhat aware. Yep, instantly bunker. He knows something is wrong. Bunker gets thrown down instantly. Here we have one bunker in each location. The reason why there's 2 is because he believes it is Proxy Reaper. It means in case Reapers come in from one side or the other, the bunkers are ready. Boys are being pre-pulled, and the Marauders are soon to reveal themselves. Marauders going to be poking up the ramp. And Marauders are revealed. Now Ryung knows. He knows, yep, to salvage one bunker. He doesn't need it. Throwing it closer to the wall. As Ryung, he does not want to lose those depots. Percival, he commits. This is going to be a 1-base all-in. This is going to be a Proxy 2-1-1. Proxy Marauder into, I would imagine, Proxy Tank. Into a medevac as well? We'll see. Oh, God. As we are committing. And going for add-on swaps. I believe the Tech Lab is going to be for the factory? Question mark? For the tank production? That would make the most sense. Unfortunately, the factory is a little bit further back, so it's going to take a while. But, yep, there we go. Yeah, tank production is on the horizon. And there's our starport for the medevac. Or for the Viking, for high ground vision. Reaver works in. Ryung, he confirms there's no factory. He confirms that, there's no follow-up. Marauder did turn around, but what exactly is going on? Ryung doesn't know. Thankfully, he doesn't salvage. Does not salvage the bunker. Does at least have safety cyclones, getting to his own starport. And he does scout. What does he see? Factory. He knows. Whew, he does scout the factory. He's pulling back his production. Really smart. He knows that this production, this closer location is going to be vulnerable to the tank. And he moves forward. His goal here would be to catch out the tank or any stray units early on at the ramp. He's in position. Rax is floating over. Vikings on the way for both players. Reactored Viking. Okay. Reactored Viking out of Percival. Does move up the ramp. Unfortunately, no lock-ons. Tank does siege up. And Percival, he is within range of that depot. Even actually within range of the bunker. Team is going to be the first to fall. Team's going to go down. Looks like barely at, oh, yeah, barely within range of the bunker as well. Just barely. And Ryung is expanding. And unfortunately, the reality is that this CC is not helping. It's not helping here in the defense. He needs as much army as possible. Now getting a third tank. Salvage is denied. Oh, massive tank shots. Ooh, Percival overextends. Yeah, massive overextension. One more tank volley is going to be enough. And he does bring down both tanks. Oh my god. Yeah, brutal pick off there. Percival here overextended. He did not kill the tank. He didn't get it. Tank survived. Massive win for Ryung, and now he's doubling out control. Ay. Percival losing everything. He lost both tanks. Didn't get a single one. And now he's racing back. Ryung, he maintains control here of the ramp, of the natural. Tanks are sieging. And Ryung can now expand. He's getting further ahead. Oh, doesn't have vision. Massive pickoff. Tank is going to go down. He gets one tank shot off, only one. The other moves in. Oh my god. Yeah, still a very tense fight, very close. We'll clean up the tanks. This was not efficient here from Ryung. He lost two tanks, but regardless, GG gets called. He breaks out, and Ryung will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. GG, well played. As Ryung, he will claim the series, will advance on. Unfortunately, Percival, I mean, he had momentum at one point, but unfortunately, he took one step too close to the ramp. He lost both tanks as a result. That was a brutal moment when he lost both tanks, and with that, he was overwhelmed. He lost everything. GG. GG, well played. Ryung does claim the series, and now we are getting ready for the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Ryung and Shameless. Let's go. Is going to be that best of 5. We are setting up. And before we get into our grand finals, it is time for a raffle. Let's go. We do have our participation raffle here for our weekly tournaments. For those that are unaware, our tournaments are funded via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You can see our current Patreon goal underneath the brackets. Thank you so much to all of our current supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it oh so much. And a part of that Patreon is that we do have a 5 USD random raffle to any competitor that did play tonight. To anyone that did compete, anyone that did take part. So we do have a raffle to conduct. And again, looking at our competitors here tonight, we had so many of them. Unfortunately, some that we weren't able to cover, like BabyMarine, for example, so some high-profile players, Art as well. We had more amateurs stepping into the ring. We had Captain Fish earlier, who did come in as a substitute to a player that otherwise was unavailable. Volt Warrior, Dave Latos, anyone and everyone is eligible here for 5 USD. Who's it going to go to? Let's go. Let's get ready. Bam. As we have our 5 USD random raffle, we have 20 eligible players. 20 players are eligible this week. 20 players, they did step in. And one player walks away a little bit richer, just a little bit. Again, it's nothing major, but it's a way to kind of spread the love. Especially because our tournament is so top heavy. It's a way to, ideally, I mean, it can go to anyone, even a finalist, but ideally it is a way to spread some of the support here to some of our other players to share the load. That is the goal. And with that, this week, our random raffle. This week, our random raffle winner is... Oh, hold on, where's the button? This week, congratulations! This week, the random raffle champion is going to be Nicoract. Ooh, the Terran player. Congratulations. Congratulations to Nicoract. We did feature Nicoract earlier today. Did go down in the quarterfinals to Percival in a TBT, but still had a good run nonetheless. And honestly, I was actually somewhat favoring Nicoract in that series. Did go down earlier. Shout out to, of course, Hacker is Top, Rebellion, Gerald, Percival, Blue Knight, some of the other runner-ups. But Nicoract does walk away with some prize money here this week. GG. GG, well played. Nicoract, he does win the raffle, so congratulations. And that means we can now get ready for the grand finals. We can get ready for the grand finals here. Let's go. Do need a moment. to set that up to get things going. There we go. Beautiful. We have our top 8. We have our final 2 players. It is going to be a TVP. I know that we did have 2 mirror matchups in the semis, but that ensures that we have a non-mirror matchup grand finals. Ryung versus Shameless. Coming into this, I do favor Ryung, but Shameless already popped off, bringing down Gerald, and there is potential for Shameless to bring down Ryung as well. I want to believe that he can make a series out of this. At least I hope so. I'm hoping that we have a game 4 or a game 5. I do not want to see a 3-0 in either direction. Not here. Not in the finals. But for now, looks like we have some downtime. We have a little bit of downtime here. We're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will have our grand finals ready for you. Be back in a few short moments. Take this time, get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, tuck in your tempest, cuddle your carriers, and we'll be back soon with those finals. See you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, the grand finales here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 82. Ooh, it's been an intense tournament so far. Plenty of TVPs, TVTs, and PVPs even as well. But now we have found our last two players. We're here in our best of 5 grand finals. We're here with our top two, Ryung and Shameless. And we're here to crown our Sparkling Tuna. Let's go. One is a previous champion. We have our Terran coming in as a champion beforehand, but we have another coming in trying to claim his first win. Here we go. As spawning in the right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He's Shameless, Pappy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. Representing Team Vitality, it is Ryung. And you know what time it is? It's Gamba time. It's prediction time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets in the chat for who you think will claim the series, who is going to be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Again, Ryung, he has one, or actually, does he? My apologies. I believe he does, yes. I believe Ryung, he has one win under his belt so far in the history of Sparkling Tuna. But alas, Shameless does not. Shameless has yet to win a tournament himself. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can claim it. Sorry, just double checking. It was 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago where Ryung went to the ace match. No, sorry, my apologies. I misspoke. My apologies, I misspoke. It was 3 weeks ago that Ryung made it to the finals, but Ryung, he did not become our champion. That was Skilless. Skilless, he was our, of course, reigning champion from STC number 80. Ryung and Shameless, neither one have claimed a win before. Okay, so it's going to be a first. Regardless of who wins, regardless of who loses, it is going to be a first here for either one. Let's go. Let's go. We're here for their first time. But now, economic opener. Economic start here by Ryung, going for the Rax Expand. Economic start. Likewise, Shameless going for a standard opener as well. I mean, we're loading into Amygdala, so we expect standard openers. Regardless, we expect economic play. This is a larger map of the map pool, more known for macro-based play and more known for the mid-game, at least mid to late game. But something that Ryung is known for in this matchup that we have not seen yet today, as we have yet to cover Ryung's TVP, is mech. If you were here last week, we casted Ryung versus Skilless in the semifinals, and Ryung, he did mech it up. He did mech it up in those semis, both in game 1 and in game 2 against Skilless. Game 2 was on this map, by the way, and Skilless was able to punish Ryung. He was able to punish him. He was able to break Ryung before the mech got into full swing. If you recall, Ryung at the time, he was skipping Hellions, he was skipping Cyclones, he was going pure tank, and then bam, Skilless, he broke in with Blink Stalkers. He reset the tank count at the end of the game before Ryung could really settle in and stabilize. We'll see if Shameless can stop Ryung from that mech, assuming that Ryung does play mech here. I'm making the assumption that he will at least once in this series. We'll see if it's going to be game 1. For now, 1-1-1 opener. We have our take of choice from Shameless, going for a Twilight Council back at home, Twilight Council into Blink. We'll see how many gateways get thrown down. This could be 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. Depending on the gateways, that will determine how aggressive or how greedy and economic Shameless wants to be. For now, there is that Blink. And for now, we have 2 gates. So far, 2-gate opener here out of Shameless. On a large map like Amygdala, 2-gate play seems more viable to get into a faster expansion. We do see Ryung going in with the scout and trying to get a read on what's going on. Hellion does poke forward, does threaten the main, and with that scout confirms the tech, confirms not Stargate, is going to be Blink, is going to be the Twilight Council. So far, a nice scout here from our Terran player. Will pull out and will get away just barely. Oh no! I spoke too soon. Adept will commit to the shade, and can we get a shot off? Oh, we can. Hellion gets locked down, and do you see what I see? I see a second Rax. Whew, okay, so I was talking about mech previously, and I do expect mech at some point in this series, but not in game 1, as that is not a second factory, that is a second Rax, which means we're getting ready for an add-on swap. Yep, second and third Rax into Bio. So tank opener into Bio. It is going to be a more standard setup here by Ryung. He's not having too much fun with Meki yet, not in game 1. But keep that in the back of your mind here for game number 2 and game number 3 and the rest of the series. Also, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Luis in the chat. Gab, I mean, a big shout out to Luis, of course, for giving us a raid. Sorry, I was meant to give you a shout out at the start of the game, but did slip my mind. But thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome. Bienvenidos todos from Luis's stream. Welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos. Here we are in the grand finals of our tournament. This is a weekly tournament. Every single week we host the Sparkling Tuna Cup. And again, Ryung, he made it to the semifinals last time. Shameless, he's had some deep runs before, but neither one of these two has been a champion. Neither one. Zero pokes in. Does poke in. Stim is on the way. So going to be a 3-1-1 setup here. Into Stim, into combat shields, +1. Or the traditional upgrades here. Or the upgrades are on the way. Likewise, we do see Shameless. Interesting. Okay, so he did go for a 2-gate opener. It was 2-gate blink into a 3rd base, so it was very economic here from Shameless, which is what we expected. Following this up, we're going to charge +1 and into a bay into Colossus production. Now, the army supply here for Shameless is quite low. Again, he's been skipping warp-ins, and he has few warp-ins to begin with anyway. But now, you know, he's just focusing on his economy, focusing on his production, and Ryung isn't really threatening him. Ryung, he's not really threatening his opponent, so Shameless is getting away with it. So far, so good. Also, my apologies, there was a 3rd gate, so it was 3-gate, not 2. So 3-gate blink into a 3rd. Likewise, Ryung still building up. Massing up his army, and he will soon move out with Stim. Now, what concerns me here, this looks normal, except there are 2 more Raxes behind the 3-rack setup. These 2 Raxes could have been, oh no, never mind, we have a 3rd CC. We have a 3rd CC as well, which means we should be getting add-ons. So far, Ryung, he is expanding. He is expanding, is getting a 3rd base, is macroing up, and getting into the mid-game. Which means he might be able to break out, but he shouldn't really be able to threaten Shameless. By the time Ryung gets across the map with this kind of army, Shameless should have Colossus. Here comes the CC. Ryung, he breaks out to expand. And the first Colossus has already arrived, and the second one is already on the way. So again, this kind of lends towards the map that we're playing on as well. Plays into Amygdala. Just something more macro-oriented. Raven comes in, takes down the takes down the shield battery, not bad. As Raven is still alive. Has a couple of kills. 3 probes and a shield battery. Likewise, Ryung securing himself, getting his 3rd. Do you see what I see? So if you recall earlier, I was talking about mech. That is Blue Flame. That's weird. So we did have the bio opener, but now we have Blue Flame on the way. This almost looks like Ryung wants to transition, wants to switch. I mean, Blue Flame Hellions, they can harass, they can annihilate mineral lines. I'm curious if we do plan on throwing down more factories, or if this is just for like Hellion harass in the mid game, which is not very common. It's not seen to. He's making Hellbats. So this is not a common sight, not a common transition. I'm a little bit concerned. What this means is that there's going to be less Widow Mines to support the army. Likewise, this is going to eat into the, potential 2nd starport as well. Going for the 2nd factory instead. Ghost Academy's on the way. Okay. So it looks like it's only Hellions to harass. It's a bit of an odd move, not going to lie. It's not very standard. We'll see if it pays off. Hellions have potential for damage. But as we mentioned, like in other aspects, he's going to be stifled. Again, late 2nd starport. Likewise, no Widowmine support either. It's going to be a little pressure here on these Hellions and Hellbats. Actually, yeah, he's morphing them all exclusively into Hellbats here. I wonder. So the plan is, instead of going Widowmine for the Zealots, he's going Hellbat. I mean, they can tank, I guess. True. In some ways I can see the logic, in other ways I can't. As they're not the most nimble of units here. Likewise, there won't be any detection required to clean them up. So we are fortifying our positions. Now we have the second starport. The Viking count is quite low. Only 4 Vikings for 3 Colossus. That is not enough. So Shameless looking very secure here. Have to run by attempt or the counterattack attempted. Shameless, he does gain control of the Zarnaga. Shameless is max, both players are. I do favor Shameless's army, I'll be honest. I'm not too convinced by this Hellbat support, but we'll see. We have advanced servers on the way. Let's go. Never goes up. Bit of an awkward Nova. Terrain working against Shameless. At the same time, we do have a drop here harassing the gold. Shameless does attempt to respond. We'll shut down the Hellbats. So reinforcements have to go the long way around. Stalkers are exposed here to the Marauders. Has to back up. Pulls away. 8 workers go down. Nice damage here from Ryung. Trying to respond. But the main army is pushing forward. Oh, nice wine shot. The army is moving in. Ryung, he spots it. He's aware. He's getting ready. Still low Viking count. Does have EMPs. He has a lot of supply in these Hellions and Hellbats, I'll be honest. He's got how many? He's got 7 Hellbats and 3 Hellions, so 10 in total. He's getting 3 more. We got nukes on the way. I do think that Shameless is still giving Ryung a lot of time. But now he's finally moving out. And he will find some of these ghosts. Doesn't commit. Doesn't want to get flanked. Auto charge to harass. Shaw says Novas. Disruptors are exposed. Novas, they pop off. Oh, massive connections. And more Novas will connect. They shut down the main army. Colossus wreaking havoc. 1 Colossus is going to be going down. Just the 1 though. Oh, the other getting low. Do we have any Novas left? Down to 1 Colossus. It's still getting quite close. Here come the Zealot reinforcements. Reinforcements are delayed. Vikings, they've been popping up. Only 4 Vikings. They take down all 3 Colossus. That should not have happened. That should not have happened. Yeah, there was no target firing from Shameless from those Stalkers. He was on a move. Man, give Ryung 4 Vikings. He'll kill any Colossus. It's crazy. Oh no! Missed movement here from Shameless. Disruptor goes down. Massive pickup. Does get a Disruptor, but the charge of composition here. He dives in. He chases down what little is left. Getting on top of those Marauders. At least trying to. Leaving supply behind. Planetary does help hold. And Ryung, he survives. Whew. Ryung, he does hold. He does survive. Maintains the 4th. Rebuilds his army. And again, that's a lot of Marauders. And again, Shameless. There was potential with that first fight. A lot of potential there. But alas, he wasn't target firing the Vikings. He lost every Colossus. Now he has to rebuild from scratch. Hellion run-by is their lackluster. They killed 3 probes. Just 3. Gold under control here of Shameless. Ryung going for his own gold. He's going for his own gold base. Still making Hellbats, by the way. Like, he is not stopped at all. He is committed. I'm still not convinced. But I'm ready to be convinced, baby. Let's go. It's quite a beefy army here. But still very vulnerable to these Novas. Now we're going back to Colossus production. I do think this was required earlier, because there's just barely any Vikings. There it goes up. Doesn't connect. And nice target firing. As we have our nuke. Ooh, does pop off. That's 14 probes going down. Shameless, he did not notice, did not react. And just like that, Shameless, he's hurting. Down in the economy. As we have another nuke on the way. Shameless trying to break out. Trying to push through. He's maxing out. He's maxing out on more Ghost. It's just the one Colossus for now. Oh, there it goes up. Nice connection. Does catch 2 Ghosts. 2 Ghosts going down. Like, I still favor Shameless's main army, especially if we can get some half-decent Novas off. But it still does come down to that control. Yo, that Ghost is on a mission. We have a nuke. He's going for the gold. He's going for the gold base. Also catch reinforcements. There's the nuke. This time does Shameless notice? No, he's not noticing. He's distracted. He's distracted. Nova, sorry, the nuke is going to connect. Shuts down the mineral line. 14 more probes going down. That's the second nuke. That's EMP. EMP on those disruptors. Ryung pulling Shameless apart. Shameless still has potential, still has all those disruptors. Has those Novas ready. 6. Has to pull away. Ryung stims in, he gets 1 disruptor. He's gonna get 2. Down to 4. Oh my god, still takes down 3 Ghosts. At the same time, massive Zealot counterattack. That was not a planetary, that was a CC. A little bit greedy there by Ryung. No planetary, 17 SCVs go down. Main armies almost clash. Almost. Still no Vikings here out of Ryung, or very limited. So how many? He's got 5. And again, Shameless has to target fire those Vikings. Doesn't need to focus them down in these engagements. So Rame coming back in. This time Ryung is ready. And this time he's in position. Shameless, he rotates. Does attempt to rotate. Forces back Ryung. Oh, not again! As a nuke is going to be popping off, and do we notice? Uh oh. No shot. Okay, he does. Whew. Does pull away out of the observer. Nuke takes down the observer. Observer takes down the Ghost just in time. But at least thankfully wasn't quite noticed. Oh, does recall, but the Colossus are exposed. That was not the recall he was hoping for. Yeah, the recall gets punished and every Colossus is going to be going down. Yeah, a bit of a miscalculation there from Shameless. He will lose all the Colossus, and Ryung is just pulling him apart. It's pulling him apart left and right. There is no recall. The base is going to fall. The base is going down. And Ryung can just keep pushing. Takes down the mineral line. Takes down the expansion. Even here top left, this army is still standing strong. At least somewhat. And we're forcing a base trade. We're forcing a base trade here. Disruptors move in. That's still a lot of disruptors. Mining is being denied. And Ryung has plenty of reinforcements. He just has to hold the line. Hold the ramp. He's coming back home. Turns back around. Another nuke. Another nuke at the gold. Up. That looks like Gray's the army. 2 Grays. Nuke does connect. No major probe kills. Workers had already gone down. Yeah, the one nuke with, sorry, the one goes with 4 kills. He's looking for a main fight. Now, something that's still in favor of Shameless is all those disruptors. Reality is that Shameless, given some good connections with those Novas, Shameless can win a fight. He can win a fight and then try to cripple the economy. So this is still on a knife's edge. This could still go either way. There we goes off. Speaking of, takes down the Ghost. The second Nova doesn't quite connect, neither does the third. Colossus goes down. Yeah, better trade for Ryung. Takes down 2 disruptors and a Colossus. Sorry, takes down 4 Colossus in total, including all those fights. All that accumulated damage. Likewise, Ryung setting West around. Oh, he sets up this round. Dives in, Sims 4, takes down 4 Disruptors. And a Colossus. Yeah, Shameless, he's just being picked apart. He gets surrounded, he gets caught out. The pants were down. At the same time, does get into the mineral lines. SCVs are going down, but the main army does crumble. This is good economic damage. But I'm afraid to look. Shameless, he is down to 1 Disruptor. So he has left 1, now 2. Second Disruptor on the way. Storm coming into play towards the end. But that's Storm against Mass Marauder. Ryung, he can take some storms to the face. He's okay. He can take him. He rotates. Catching out some of these Dark Templar. Zoning Nuke. Uh-oh. Nuke is meant to zone, not meant to connect. Okay. The army might be forced back. And Nuke is going to pop up a little bit too soon. No major connection. Instead, Shameless, he's taking the fight here. Cornering Ryung. There's a scan. Zealous, they go down. Without Zealous, there's no buffer, there's no support. There is that storm, though. Ryung, he splits, he avoids that. He mostly avoids a storm. Mostly. The army is overstimmed. Still very close. Zealots, they trade well. Oh my god, they shut down so many Marauders. Marauders, Hellbats, they go down to the Zealots. But again, once the Zealots run out, Shameless, he has to back off. He cannot engage. He needs those Zealots. Ryung pulling back. He's on 33 SCVs. He has a high base count, but low SCVs. He's not really mining too efficiently. He has to rely on mules. Likewise, Shameless has top left. And half of the gold. So we're getting scrappy. Shameless did morph in a couple of High Templars, so he has Storms. Storms are available. Likewise, no more Ghosts, no more EMPs. High Templar, they're safe for now. The Ghost production has recommenced. Ghost production is underway. And both players, after intense fighting, we back off. And Shameless, he's saturating his bases, he's regaining his economy. Going back into Colossus. Okay, we're resetting in a way. Calming down. Building up our armies. Shameless loves catch a couple of SCVs. Gets a couple of workers. Colossus have arrived. Shameless doesn't quite commit. Still licking his wounds, getting up to 4 Colossus. And in this kind of game state, do we have any Vikings? 0. 0 Vikings here for Ryung. With a high enough Colossus count, Ryung, he doesn't really have an answer to that. Not an easy answer. He scans, he sees the army. First Viking's on the way. Getting his first Viking. Oh. Nice splits. Doesn't quite get the disruptor. There we go, making more Vikings. He scans, sees even more Colossi. Hellion Rumbys are popping off. Not bad, no side defense. Probes are going down. At the same time, though, ooh, a planetary will fall. Massive pickup. Up. Go save water to the army. Oh my god, the lasers! Yeah, the claws, they fall, they shut down the army. It melts. And Shameless, he will take the fight. He shuts Ryung down completely. The ghosts go down, the Marines as well. Oh my god. That was a brutal fight for Ryung, pushing up a ramp into a concave of Colossus without Vikings. He face checked with the ghosts. At the same time, does get a mineral line, but as you can see here, that was 5 ghosts going down for 1 disruptor and a couple of gateway units. Not to make up for that, Ryung does get a mineral line. True. Does take down a mineral line. Main armies rotate. Oh. No, pulls away. He's stuck on a 1 base economy. Shamelessly blinks forward, takes down the tank, denies the gold. Just 1 base saturation here for Ryung. Heavily oversaturated. That's all he has. He desperately needs another expansion, but there is none. There's the gold, and even then, not that much left. Shameless, meanwhile, freely mining. I say freely mining did lose a mineral line, did lose 2 mineral lines, actually. So these Blue Flame Hellions, they have had some success, and they continue to. Remember, there's no side defense, no cannons, no shield batteries. Hellions, they do check bottom right, but there are Zealots in position. So that's to pull away. Still very tense. Oh my god, he comes back too soon. Comes back too soon. 8 SCVs go down. Shameless. Calm down, bud. Or I should say, Ryung, calm down. I'm just trying to think. At this point, it might be wise to splitting up his army. Gonna attempt to flank. Disruptors, they now join up with the main force, though. That's a lot of disruptors. Decent EMP. Ooh, gets a ghost. Never does clip a ghost. Ranky stems in, takes down the Archon. Going for the first Colossus. Very nice pickups. Eats a storm. Nervous, we get some decent splits. Good enough. Takes down 2 Colossus. There's 2 left. And even more disruptors going to be going down. Very nice target firing here by Ryung. 1 disruptor remains. And so far, good splits. But can he deal with the Gateway Army? It's still looking close here. There's 1 Colossus remaining. Vikings are going down. They should be targeted. And with that, Shameless, he will take the fight. Takes down all the Vikings. The 1 Colossus going ham. He breaks through. Shameless, he does it. He breaks the main force. There's nothing left. Reinforcements start trickling in. But GG gets called. Shameless, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. Shameless, he took like 3 nukes to the face. He lost like 2 full mineral lines, papi. Oh my god. It was not an easy game. Shameless taking some nukes to the face. Likewise, time and time again, his either disruptor count or his Colossus count was being reset. But overall, he was maintaining a greater economy. Despite losing all these workers, despite losing all these mineral lines, he still had more bases. He still had a greater economy. And that is something that he was able to maintain for the majority of that game. Strange fights. Well, if you recall, Ryung was all in. Remember, he had no economy. He was stuck on like half a base mining. He had no income. He was all in. He had to force a fight. That's what he had to do. So Marauder Heavy. That is your ideal kind of bio composition. We saw that because it was so Marauder Heavy, the Colossus, they weren't really trading too well against the mass amount of Colossus, unlike a Marine Heavy composition, which would just melt completely. But as we saw, it barely wasn't enough. More than anything, it was the economy. Like that's what killed Ryung that game. That's what I'm trying to emphasize, is because of the low base count, because of the low worker count as well, or really just low base count, he could not sustain those losses, could not keep up. Meanwhile, Shameless could. Shameless, he could afford to lose wave after wave of Disruptor and Colossus, and he was losing a lot of robo units, a lot of expensive losses. A lot of extensive losses, and in the end, Shameless was able to outproduce his opponent. What's happening? Okay, we're good, we're good. Suddenly Jumi appeared. Suddenly Jumi appeared in the chat. Sorry, in-game in the lobby. So we got rid of him, we got rid of him. STG. But regardless, GG. GG, well played. Here we go, we're now getting into our next setup. I guess weak versus disruptor. Marauders are a little bit more ideal against disruptors because they can tank disruptor shots and they can target them down as well. But yes, Hellbats are weaker towards disruptors. That is true. Is true. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2 here. We're loading into one of our TLMC maps, one of the rush maps. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Error Home, we have our blue Protoss player. Our blue Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Whew. GG, well played again. A very intense game 1, very long, very back and forth. We had some strong moments for Ryung. If you were here for it, Ryung, he nuked 2 entire mineral lines, 14 probes, and then another 14 workers went down. The nukes were popping off. Ryung, he was catching out free disruptors, catching out groups of not just disruptors, Colossus as well. But again, he was denied base after base after base. He was denied an economy, and eventually ran out of steam. Eventually, he ran out of steam, and with that, Shameless did take a lead. He was able to overcome, able to overwhelm, and with that, Shameless is up 1-0. Let's go. Let us go. Shameless does take a lead, and now we are getting into game number 2. And we'll see if Shameless can recover. Sorry, we'll see if Ryung can recover. We'll see if Shameless can keep up the momentum. Again, welcome one more to Error Home. Error Home is a very small map, very short rush distance by ground. I mean by air as well. As you can see here, we have a very narrow ramp coming into the third, coming into the natural, but the rush distance by ground is insanely short from base to base. There are some choke points to help make up for that you can defend at, but aggression is favored, heavily favored on this map. But now, double gas opener, faster factory. We have a fake proxy here by Ryung. Ooh, and the probe does confirm. Probe does confirm the fake proxy. And Shameless doesn't have much to be too concerned by. Chronoing out the Zealots. Sorry, chronoing out the Stalker. Still getting the expansion. We are committing. We are committing not just into the initial double gas, into a second factory, into an add-on swap. Oh boy. Ryung, he's going for the all-in. He's going for an all-in here. Double factory add-on swap into early Cyclone, I'm assuming, or potentially early tank. What's it going to be? Do we go for the tank rush? Do we go for the Cyclone rush instead? Likewise, we do have a second tech lab. With 2 tech labs, I'm feeling Cyclones. I'm feeling Cyclones, but we'll see what Ryung does embrace. I mean, we could just see both. There we go. First Cyclone is in production, and we should soon be seeing a second Cyclone as well. Now, what's scary is that Shameless doesn't know. Shameless, he saw the racks earlier, or at least he saw the Reaper. He should be aware that something is wrong. Yep, double Cyclone production. Oh boy. And again, this kind of play is going to be favored, is going to be assisted here by the size of the map, by Error Home. And Ryung, he might just pull the boys with this as well. The boys are going to be pulled to buffer, to help repair, to keep these Cyclones going. Again, Cyclones in the early game, they can overwhelm. But Shameless is playing safe. Shield Battery. Thankfully, does go for a safe response. Shield Battery's on the way. He has the high ground. Throws down extra gateways. He's going for a 3-gate setup. Very safe play here by Shameless. Cyclone is revealed. And here comes that ranks for high ground vision. We spoke about the boys. The boys have been pulled. They're here to repair. They're here to repair. There's a first scan. Shield Battery putting in a lot of work. Does save the first Stalker. There's the NG overcharge. Oh my god, that's so much DPS. Stalkers are barely holding on. Can we get on top of the Cyclones? He can. He can. 1, 2 volleys go up. First Cyclone goes down, but there's still 3 left. Still 3 Cyclones remaining. Lock-ons are brutal. Barely can he get one. He cannot. He's being split here. He's being pulled apart. Cyclones are being held onto. They're being repaired. 3 of them get low, but they will survive the control. Ryung, he saves the Cyclones. He has to repair, though. He has to repair as quickly as possible. Rax is moving in. Ryung, he's gaining ground. Boys are being pulled. They're tanking out. They're tanking some of those lock-ons. Oh, gets a Cyclone. Gets 1. Blinks forward. Blink is done. He gets 1. He gets 2. He gets 3. And with that, Shameless, he should shut this down just barely. There's 1 Cyclone left. Cleans up all the Cyclones, and Ryung, he's out of steam. He's out of steam. He's out of units. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take a 2-0 lead. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG well played. Shameless, he will take a 2-0 lead here. Again, a very intense all-in here by Ryung, but Shameless, if you remember, he was able to scout. He was able to get eyes on the racks initially. He didn't see the second factory, but remember, safe play. He didn't cut corners. He played safely. He went up to 3 gateways. He went for a blink-based opener, 3 gates, shield battery on the high ground. He didn't cut corners, didn't play greedy, and the last Shameless, he was not punished. He was able to keep up, maintain himself, and with that, we're now getting into our next game. We are jumping into game number 3. And the pressure is now on Ryung. Oh boy. He has to fight back here and now to make a series out of this. Otherwise, Shameless, he will run away with this. He'll run away with finals. Boy, as we load into ley lines. Now, coming into ley lines here, this is where I expect mech. I mentioned before that Ryung, he does like to mech it up. We haven't seen mech yet here in this series. This wouldn't be a bad map for it. In saying that, I feel like if we were going to see mech, it would have been on Amygdala, really, more than anything. So my eyes are going to be on Ryung. I mean, clearly, he's the one to keep an eye on. He has gone for different openers, different builds, different styles. We'll see how he does shake it up. As we are getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Protoss player, or the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 2-0, 1 game away from becoming our Sparkling Tuna Cup champion for the first time in his career. Can he get it? Can he make it that far? Can he win his first Tuna? It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. Down in this series, he was favored. He was favored coming into this tournament. He was the #1 seed. He is a reigning champion of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but he is struggling here in the finals. We'll see if he can bounce back, and we'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is Ryung. Rico. As we have double gas open out of Ryung. Ryung going for a faster factory. This time the Rax is back at home. There's no real or fake proxy. Not out of Ryung. Not this time. Shameless dipping into the main. Does dip in. He does spot the initial Rax. Doesn't check further. Going for his own setup. There's that factory on the way for Ryung. Oh. So far, so standard. I mean, double gas. But outside of that, we have nothing too crazy to report yet. Probe does pull away. Probe scout is denied. For all Shameless knows, there could be a CC on the high ground, or there could be a factory. Like, Shameless is very much so in the dark as to what's happening. And as a result, should play safe. Ooh, setting up... Potentially setting up a pylon. The Reaper does scout. Reaper does find the probe, and the probe is going to be cleaned up. Meanwhile, Ryung expanding. Again, it's ley lines. Ley lines is a larger map compared to Arrow Home or Ultra Love. So Ryung is expanding. No crazy one base all in this time. Meanwhile, Tala cancel play out of Shameless into Blink. in towards a longer game. Whew, okay, as crazy and as intense as game 2 was, we're slowing things down. We're getting to a longer game state. Ryung is expanding, so is Shameless. The Adept does scout the CC, so he knows. He is aware of the delayed command center. He knows that there's a faster factory, but at least he's aware that there's an expansion, of course. So he knows he's safe. We can see Ryung opening up with an early Cyclone. And we're going for the add-on swap. Okay, I was going to say, are we going to open up into early tank? But as a reminder, because of double gas opener, this can lead into Cyclone, into tank, into a drop all in across the map, or we can lead into an add-on swap into Banshee play. That's what I'm leaning towards here. Is a 1-1-1 Banshee opener here out of Ryung, which is quite trendy amongst the top tier Terran players. You know, Clem, Maru, Yun, Ryung as well. There it is, Cloak Banshee. So Cloak Banshee on the way. Shameless currently is in the dark, and Shameless has no sentry either. Now, if there was a sentry, we could see a hallucination scout into the main, and then he would confirm what's going on. But here, for the time being, we have just a blink-based opener, extra gateways, no sentry. As Ryung gets a full scout, Ryung confirms blink. Ryung is aware. Just 3-gate blink into a third. I say a third base, my apologies, double gas. Okay, gas is first before expanding, which means Shameless may opt to go for a Bay a little bit earlier. And settle for Colossus production before expanding. The earlier Robo also leads into early Observers. So really safe play here, getting the first to move out, and even a second as well. Stalkers are being more defensive. Ready for a Mine Drop. Ready for Banshee. There's the expansion. And the first Banshee does move out. Now, Ryung, he's playing Bio. We have 2 more Raxes on the way. He's getting to a Bio setup. Oh, and I had assumed that Shameless was going to open up Blink Stalker into Colossus, but no, that is Blink Stalker into Templar Archives into Storm. And it gets scouted immediately. It's scouted, is spotted. Shameless is in position here for the Banshee. Does zone away. But at least Ryung got the scout. Meanwhile, that's a third observer. Gee, that's a lot of observers. Third observer on the way. Banshee does find some damage. Gets 2 probes. Does get 2 workers. Just the 2. Storm, of course, is being prioritized as we speak. Again, Ryung is fully aware. And will eventually build up. So he does scout the Observer. Spots the Observer. As Ryung moves out, he should expand, as he is still waiting for Stim. Stim is still on the way. There's a third expansion. We're getting to the mid-game. Both players getting to their third bases, and soon Shameless should take a 4th. Did he cancel Storm? That should not have happened. I think that was a bit of a misclick there, but Storm was cancelled and restarted. It was like halfway done. I hope that he didn't go to like Chrono Storm and then cancel it on accident. As yeah, he has high tempo, he's gathering energy. Like he intends to let it finish. So a bit of a misclick there from Shameless. Building back up. It's like then he cancels again. It's like no. But thankfully it's not like he's missing any kind of timing at the moment. So should finish up and we should, there we go, there's Chrono. Just to make sure it's done a little bit faster in case Ryung were to push. Now Shameless is secure. He's got his Storm. Now getting to double Forge, double upgrades, 4th base on the way. major move outs. Even upon finishing up the upgrades, Ryung, he did not push. That is a early second factory, and we might see Ryung once again go into reactored Hellion production with Blue Flame. Yep, there it is. Just like game one. It's going to be Hellions instead of Widow Mines. And again, as we saw in the previous game, it's a unique style, definitely. It is an alternative to Widow Mine play. Personally, I'm not too fond of it. It is a bit of a... I mean, I guess we saw some of the benefits, right? It's like, I would say the main benefit here is that you do have the option to morph the Hellbats into Hellions and go for run-bys. And we did see a lot of Blue Flame Hellion counterattacks, and we saw a lot of pros being killed by those Blue Flame Hellions. So that is true. That is like a benefit here to incorporating Hellions. But I do think as a part of the main army, it is a little bit weaker. So you sacrifice some of the strength of your main army for potential harassment. When it comes to one of the reasons why this would make the main army weaker, so Widowmine Bio, the added benefit here is that with Widowmines you can borrow them and they don't really disrupt movement from your main army. Movement with Bio is so important when it comes to stimming forward and diving on Disruptors, diving on Colossus, but also stimming away and splitting up your forces. Hellbats, they kind of get in the way of that, so they can make control a little bit more awkward for the Terran. Army gets spotted. Ryung, he's pushing forward. He is moving in. Oh, Storm does flank. I mean, these Marauders, they can tank some of these Storms. Another flanking Storm coming in. Doesn't quite connect, but Stalkers, they dive forward, and they do overextend. Yeah, Stalkers, they go down one after the other. The Storms were not good enough, and Ryung snowballs out of control. He takes down the main army, he takes down the base, and from here, he might just be able to end the game. Zealots, they finally come in to reinforce. That's what Shameless was missing. He needed more Zealots. He was not ready. At the same time, though, Zealots, they pop off 12 SCV kills. 12 workers going down, but Ryung, his main force is not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He stims, and he wins. Again, Storms, they tickled the army. The connections were not good enough. And likewise, Zealots were late. Zealots were delayed. Now we get a decent Storm towards the end. Oh my god, he stands in the Storms. But it's fine. He can take the Storm to the face perfectly fine. Sims on in. GG gets called, and Ryung, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, the comeback has begun. We do have a back and forth. It's not going to be one-sided. It's not going to be a 3-0. Ryung does take game number 3. Again, unfortunately, Shameless, it looked like he panicked a little bit towards the end. He was trying to flank with Storms, but again, he was mainly connecting with Marauders or not connecting at all with them. Likewise, I don't know if you noticed, but Shameless, he blinked forward, which was crazy. He blinked onto the army, onto Marauders, so he lost all the Stalkers. Yeah, everything kind of fell apart there for Shameless, and Ryung snowballed out of control with that fight. Kind of the big buffer that you really need with that Protoss army is Zealots, and we saw that Chargers, they warped in at the end. They warped in after the fight had concluded and after Shameless had lost all his Stalkers. So a little bit too little too late there for Shameless. And with that, Ryung does fight back. Now we're getting into game 4. Getting into game 4. And we'll see if Ryung can force the ace match or if it all ends here and now. Go. So players are getting ready. Are setting up. And game 4 is going to be on Frostline. Okay. Going to be loading into Frostline. One of the larger maps of the map pool. Is a large map. At the same time, we speak about this all the time, the 3rd and 4th bases are really exposed. Aggression can be heavily favored on this map as a result. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 2-1, one game away from winning his very first Sparkling Tuna Cup. Unamas, one more game is all he needs. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. As he has begun his comeback. Comeback has begun. SCV moves out. And we are setting up here to avoid the scouting probe. So Ryung does avoid. From here he can go in, he can go for the eBay block, and he can delay and disrupt the opener of Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. As eBay is on the way. And Shameless, he's gonna have a late scout here. Yeah, plenty of progression on this eBay. The scout is late, and that means that Shameless, most likely, yeah, he's forced to take the unnatural natural. A very awkward position here for Shameless. Has to expand elsewhere. He doesn't want to. He's going for the Zealots. Yeah, he's going for the Zealot. Shameless, he will take a late expansion instead. I mean, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. So a rough start for Shameless. Oh, hello. Hiding his probe and setting up for a proxy. I mean, hey, if you can't expand, may as well. I mean, he has to spend his money somewhere. So setting up for a proxy. Now, this could be for a gateway to reinforce across the map and be hyper-aggressive, or this could be for a Stargate instead to try to deal some economic damage here with a proxy Oracle. Cybercore is done. Is it a Stargate or is it a gateway? It's a gate. Okay. Gateway gets thrown down. So far, he has a 2-gate setup. So he can try to reinforce and push. There's a cancellation. eBay is denied. I see a 3rd gate. It's a one-way soul in. We're going for a one-way soul in here. And Shameless's hand was forced, as he just could not take the natural. Back across the map. Ryung, he went for a Rax into Faster Factory into a delayed TC. With this Ryung, he will have extra units early on. And more importantly, he will rescout. He's looking for the expansion. And it looks like Shameless is going for the Nexus. Shameless is building up his economy. Oh. Ryung coming in from behind. He hasn't seen the gate yet. Oh, and he's going to be denied. There's the Nexus. So Shameless, he will expand. But once Warp Gate finishes, Shameless, he can turn this defense into an offense. So he is making that Stalker. Last Ryung, he's checking. He scouts top left. Checking bottom right. He's looking for proxies. I mean, he knows. He knows that there could be a possibility here that there's a pylon, there's a Stargate, there's something. So he's checking. Oh, and he will confirm. Yeah, big scout here for Ryung. He does see the gateway, sees the Stalkers, gets the hell out of here. Bunkers on the way. Ryung, he's building up back at home. He's securing himself. I believe Ryung, he did not see the expansion. Doesn't know how committed Shameless is. Shameless is expanding. So he does move forward. Water's off the ramp. Oh. Does threaten the main. Rotates over. Oh my god. Barely doesn't get the shots off. But the workers are getting very low. Oh god, they're lining up. The probes, they do line up, and can we get them? Barely one more shot, but the last workers, whew, they do survive. So many of them get low, but Shameless holds. Oh my god. Shameless does hold on. For those that are curious, it takes 3 Hellion shots to kill a probe. It takes 3 shots. But the shield battery was helping. Shield battery putting in a lot of work, just topping up those probes. Does keep them alive. And Ryung, he's going to be contained here for a little bit longer, just now breaking out. More Stalkers have arrived. Remember, there's no Blink. There's no Twilight Council. Stalkers moving in. Shameless being zoned back. Caesar Tannis in the shadow. Who won the raffle? Nicoract. Nicoract. The Terran player. Nico, if you will. Did win the raffle this week. Did win the raffle. Shameless does rotate into the main. Going for a full scout. It does confirm that Stim's in production. The bio, of course. Saturated natural. And Shameless this entire time has been saturating as well. He was really just trying to contain. He wasn't really trying to break Ryung. So from here we can expand. We can settle in. We can build up. Ooh. Building back up. From here, again, it was a robo opener into fast row mortal production, into charge, something you don't see too often. So mortals into charge, extra gateways on the way. This feels quite committed. You often don't open charge unless you do plan on being aggressive with this. So yeah, we have extra gateways. And we'll see how hard Shameless does commit. Is going for the Temple Archives. This is a little bit more tech heavy. But there's still more gates on the way. Shameless could be expanding, but he is not taking a third. He throws out even more gates. Getting up to how many? Getting up to 8. He's going for an 8-gate setup. 5 in addition to the 3 that he already has. And this is a 2-base all-in. It's going to be an 8-gate 2-base all-in. I believe the Prism should be lined up with a couple of Archons. So we can morph in some Archons with the move out. Now, when it comes to this setup here that Shameless has, this is not really designed to break an entrenched Terran player, so this SimCity is actually quite beneficial here to Ryung. Charge also going to have a hard time breaking through this, but if Ryung moves out, if he expands, takes the third base, and if he's caught out in the open, in between his bases, or even at his third base, that is what Shameless is hoping for. That's what Shameless wants here, is to catch Ryung out in the open. Speaking of being out in the open, he unsieges. He does unsiege, he does move out, he will depower and deny one of these gateways. But at least he's not defending in the natural, which is what Shameless wants. Shameless wants him out in the open. Storm is almost done, building up more zealots. And the armies are about to clash. Ryung, he pushes. Shameless getting ready. Does he have any High Templar? He has 4. He has 4 High Templar in that Prism. He has Storms ready and available. How good are they going to be? Does spot the army. Trying to collapse in. Tanks that do siege. Here come the Storms. But now good connection on the bio. Does try to blank it. First tank goes down. There's 1 tank left. But not enough. Shameless force back. Ryung is holding his own. I'll be honest, they did seem like panic storms by Shameless. Out of the 4 storms, I think 2 of them were solid. Tank does fall, and Shameless holds. Shameless does hold. Ryung has to get the hell out of here. He has to race back home. And Shameless from here, he can counterattack and threaten the third. So he's pushing. Remember, no third base. Like Shameless, he's pretty all in here. So 2 base all in out of Shameless. Warping in more Archons, more Zealots. Ryung is out in the open. He is pre-spreading. Does Shameless have enough? Storm's going to be less effective. Nice mine shot. Softens up those zealots. Ooh, the Prism is going to be zoned away. Shameless forced to unload. Going for another warp in. Warping in 7 zealots at a time. Ryung, he sees the warp and he backs off. Gets the hell out of there. Pulls away. Ooh, decent connections. This is the first storm. There's at least 3 storms left. Boys are ready to be pulled. Oh my god, massive storm here on the army. But there's still plenty of marauders. And again, they can take some storms to the face. Oh, the mine shots are brutal. Zealots are going down. Does try to pre-split. We do get a final storm. Boys are being pulled. Now there's no more storms. Yeah, no storms remaining. Does he have enough? There's not many marauders left, but likewise, zealots are running out. Running out of zealots, stalkers are exposed. Dust him in. And Ryung, he will shut this down. He shuts down the stalkers, the immortals, everything. Will cost him 23 SCVs. Will cost him his economy, but he shuts everything down. Even the War Prism. And now we're in a weird game state. So, on the one hand, Ryung holds, but at a cost of 27 SCVs, he pulled all the boys. And suddenly he's down to 26 workers. Now, he does have a third, true. but it is not an orbital, so he has no mules. So he only has 2 orbitals. His mules are limited. He can still make 3 SCVs at a time. So he does have an economy. What's important though, he has the army. He has a massive army here. Marauders, he has Ghosts. Back at home, Shameless doesn't have much. He's just now warping in. He has a couple of High Templar gathering energy. But Shameless, he is vulnerable. He needs time. I don't think he can take a fight. Not right now. Morphs in another Archon. Ryung, he rotates. Still very scrappy. Nice EMP. Oh my god, EMP pops up. Prism goes down. Oh, the Mind Shot takes down the High Templar. And no more Storms are left. The Storms are not available. And without Storms, this army just crumbles. Yeah, Ryung, he's done it. Takes down the Archon, takes down the High Templar. GG gets called, and Ryung, he does bounce back. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Ryung, he will bring us back. Fun fact, if you weren't here for it, Shameless, he was up 2-0. He was up 2-0 in this series. Ryung, he wins game 3, he wins game 4. Now we're going all the way to game number 5. Get a very intense game, very clutch, very close, very back and forth. But Ryung, he's back in this. Here we go. Still going. I mean, the average length of our broadcasts are typically 4 hours, and we've been live for what, 4.5? So that's what we expect. Between like 4 and 6 hours is our broadcast. But with that, GG, well played. We're going all the way to the ace match, all the way to game 5, and this could, I mean, this can still go either way. This can go either way here. Does it go the way of Ryung? Does it go the way of Shameless? 3 hours. The stream went down. The stream went down earlier, so there's an extra hour on top of that. So add an hour to it, and that's how long we've been live. As we are getting into that ace, it's going to be on Starchild. Let's go. It's going to be on Starchild. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All good. But yeah, there was some technical issues earlier, so we had to restart the stream. But it's all good. Issues have since been resolved. And it all ends here. It all ends on Starchild. Now, for those that are curious, Starchild is a large map. It is a macro map in the map pool. It is a TLMC map. Just as a heads up, it is not a ladder map, but it did make it through the veto process. And this is where our story ends. On Starchild. Oh boy, and we get to the ace match. I wouldn't have it any other way. We do make it to the ace match. Beautiful. There we go. Oh. Looks like our players, they need a moment. Players do need a moment here. More than happy, of course, to calm down. Any news if there will be StarCraft 3 or Stormgate? Most likely, there probably won't be a StarCraft 3 for like another, I don't know, like maybe 5 to 10 years, depending on when kind of Blizzard gets itself like kind of like sorted once again. So yeah, I don't think there's much reason when it comes to discussing like a sequel to StarCraft anytime soon. But there are plenty of other RTSs here on the horizon. Whether or not they're successful, yet to be determined. I mean, that's why we're still here covering SE2. It's something that we love, that we enjoy, that we're passionate about. All about that StarCraft. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's one of the things where we have yet to really, like, I haven't had the luxury of being able to really touch any of their upcoming games. Like, I haven't played any like Battle Aces or Zero Space or Stormgate. They all seem to have their own pros, their own cons, but we'll see whenever they come out. I'm sure like in 2026, 2027, I'm sure some of them will be released, and yeah, looking forward to trying them out ourselves. Again, I'm a big fan of RTS. You know, I grew up playing Age of Empires, grew up playing Brood War, of course, into Age of Mythology, Dawn of War, right? It's like plenty of RTSs back in the day. Does anyone remember the old Lord of the Rings RTS, like Battle for Middle-earth? Big RTS fan. So always looking forward to new RTSs coming out. But the reality is that, like, you know, the passion is there for StarCraft. Whether it's there for any other games, we'll see. We'll see. If so, then the CranKy Ducklings would, you know, try some of the other games out. But so far we haven't. We just haven't had the time to. It's been a little bit sad because I think there was like the open like alpha, open beta for like Stormgate, and all the other casters were like running events for them, for Stormgate and for Zero Space. But we didn't have the time to like to look at any of those events ourselves because we cast StarCraft on a daily basis. Like, we have no time. It's like someone else is like, oh, did you know, there was like this, yeah, like open Stormgate event happening. Like, have you thought about casting? It's like, well, I mean, we're casting StarCraft. Like, what? Like, we have no time. Unfortunately, no time. But here we go. We're jumping into the ace match here, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Starchild, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And this is it. This is where it all ends. Again, we have our best of 5 grand finals into the ace match here. And this could go either way. Shameless, he was up 2-0. He was so close to winning his very first Sparkling Tuna Cup. But alas, he has kind of fumbled the ball a little bit here in Game 3 and Game 4. Now we're here in the ace match. Momentum is in favor of our Terran player. And to be fair, Ryung has likewise never won a Sparkling Tuna Cup either. Both Ryung and Shameless, they have both made it far in these tournaments. They've made it into the finals before, but neither one has walked away with the Sparkling Tuna. Neither one. Not yet. Not yet here in their careers, but one of them is about to. Which one? Which one is going to win their first Sparkling Tuna Cup? We're here to find out. Likewise, for now, we have economic openers. Gerald going for a rack expand. For the first time this series, I believe, is going for an economic start. Meanwhile, Shameless going for his own gate expand as well. Gate expand before Cybercore. Now, we are cutting corners. Both players are cutting corners. Both players are being economic. Both players are being greedy. The reasoning for this, of course, is the size of the map. Again, Starchild is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very macro-oriented map as well. As a result, we have these economic starts, which I appreciate. Which means we have a high chance at getting into a 3-base setup, into a 3-base economy, in towards the mid-game. We'll keep an eye on our players to see if we have any kind of forms of aggression. Ryung moves out with the first Reaper. His goal here is to scout the tech, and we're imagining Twilight Council play. Stargate openers are viable on some of these larger maps, but I don't really know if Shameless is really one to play Stargate. He's been a Blink Boy for the most part in this series. We've seen a Robo opener previously, true. Did go for a Robo opener a couple of games ago. Actually, on Frostline, if you recall, did go for the earlier Robo. But there it is, a Stargate. Okay, let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. As Shameless is going for the Stargate. With this, the goal here would be to either get economic damage done with Oracles or to embrace more Phoenixes. So we'll see what Shameless does go for. If he goes Phoenixes or Oracle into like Charge or Oracle into Blink. But again, there's a reason why we brought up Stargate play previously. Stargate openers are more commonplace on maps like Starchild, on Abyssal Reef, on Neon Violet Square. Reaper dives in, Reaper goes down, but does get a full scout, does get eyes on the Stargate. Now, suddenly, Ryung has a choice to make. He sees, okay, you're opening up Stargate. This means that Shameless is going to be vulnerable early on, and Ryung, can he punish? Now, with an economic opener, it means that his factory and starport are much later, so it's going to be difficult to punish. Instead, we might just see defensive play. I'm referring to Cyclone into Viking. To be more safe, to be more secure. And there it is. Cyclone is in production. Yep, and there's the Viking as well. Again, this is the standard response upon seeing a Stargate, is all things anti-air to make sure that your mineral lines are safe. Building up Cyclones, building up Vikings. Building up as much anti-air as possible. Nicely hosted, mate. It's my first time watching, and I'll definitely follow. Oh, thank you. Seno Elmo. Gracias. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Again, this is a weekly tournament, and I say this is a weekly tournament. We're live every single day. We're live on a daily basis, multiple times a day as well. So we have plenty of content here. We've been casting StarCraft full-time on a daily basis since COVID, since 2020. So we got plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Check out our YouTube as well. Our YouTube, all our VODs get uploaded, so we do upload VODs to YouTube on a daily basis. So there's plenty of games, plenty of matches, plenty of StarCraft. Meanwhile, this is what we've been waiting for. If you remember, at the start of the series, at the very start of the series, I spoke about how I was waiting for mech. I was waiting for mech at least once, and I was expecting it on Amygdala. We did not get it on Amygdala, but we're getting it here on Starchild. Mass Factory into Magfield into mech. Let's go. For those that haven't been watching Ryung's play, Ryung, he is known for this. Ryung, he is one of the few Terran players that does play mech against Protoss. Players like Ryung, players like Gumiho. Those are the two that come to mind that are willing to mech it up against Protoss. It is very niche, it is a very unique style, and we have seen it work against the best Protosses in the world. I'm referring to Hero, I'm referring to Max Packs, like they have popped up, but again, it is very much so not a standard playstyle whatsoever, and not something that they rely upon. It's something that Gumiho and Ryung, they like to mix in, like once, maybe twice in the series. If you were here last week, we casted Ryung versus Skillus in the semifinals of this tournament, and Ryung, he did do this twice actually against Skillus. Did play mech twice. Two variations though. I think it was in game 1 where Ryung did go Magfield and Mass Cyclone. I want to say in game 2 he went earlier tanks into mass tank production. For now though, he is moving out, and Shameless is vulnerable right now. He has a couple units, but he doesn't really have much support for those Immortals. The Immortals are exposed, Cyclones do push, and we'll see, can Ryung snipe those Immortals? Can he lock down? Can he lock on, I should say. Likewise, Observer does spot the army. Phoenixes, they rotate over in position. Lock-ons here on the Phoenixes. They send them away. The last doesn't want to get caught out. There is a concave. And Shameless, he's holding. For now, he's holding on. Lock-ons, they don't quite catch out the Phoenix. Ooh, one Cyclone falls. Trades 1 for 1, 1 for 2. One Cyclone for 2 Phoenixes. Better trade for Ryung. He does back off. He does rotate. Behind this, more Phoenixes into Colossus. So Phoenix Colossus here by Shameless. So from here, Ryung, he is rotating. Here, rotating over. Up! Getting lock-on off. Does trigger the shields. Shields are triggered. Mineral Line under fire, getting 3 probe kills so far. Oh, gets 3. Does get 3 workers. Mine shots going up. They shut down the Phoenixes. And Phoenix Count gets reset. The Colossus is exposed. And Ryung is so close to breaking through. The Colossus is going to go down. And now it's all about the Immortals. Yeah, the Immortals. The mine shots. Oh my god, massive connections. Vikings, they land. And Ryung, he breaks through. He breaks through the defensive line, takes down the Colossus, the Immortals, the everything. And with that, he rallies forward. GG gets called. The mech overwhelms. And Ryung, he will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Very decisive play there by Ryung, able to strike just before there was too much support, as we were trying to emphasize there. Again, Shameless, he had Colossus, he had Immortals, he had Phoenixes, but the Gateway army was lacking. And typically it's your Gateway army, your Charge Ults and your Stalkers that buffer, that support, that tank those lock-ons, and that preserve your high-tech units. But in that moment, or specifically with that build, going Phoenix Colossus, your Gateway count is very low. It's a very low Gateway count, very low Gateway army, and with that, Ryung did over well. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Ryung. He will claim the series. He will be our champion. And my condolences to Shameless. Shameless, he came so close. He came so close. Again, Shameless, he has never won. I mean, neither has Ryung. Neither one of these two players has won a Sparkling Tuna Cup before. But Ryung, he will claim his win in style with mech as well. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. 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 Oh. I'm having a little impromptu interview with Ryung. I want to probe his mind a little bit. We'll see if he responds. We'll see. Make it happen. Este, Nia. Oh no, true. Nia's another one. Power move. Ah, the power pack. The power. So I asked Ryung, I was like, what makes you decide to play Mech versus Protoss? Only you and Gumiho, I think. And Ryung, he said, so many Terran players try Bio, but they never win. And Ryung's like, so sometimes I try Mech, and sometimes I win. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, so wise, so wise. And as we assumed, oh, let's go. So okay, so Ryung, he said so he saw the Stargate, so he responded with Mech, which is what we assumed, right? Like he saw the Stargate opener, so he responded with Macville accelerators, with Mass Cyclone, but he ended it saying Ryung, he said Gumiho Mech less than Ryung Mech. True, greater than Gumiho. GG, thank you for competing. How do I say kamsamnida? How do I spell that? Kamsamnida. Beautiful, beautiful. Cycle Wind Mine is good versus Target. Yeah. As we assumed, but I wanted to get his thoughts, the thoughts from Ryung himself. Thoughts from Ryung. But yes, confirmed. Ryung greater than Gumiho. But yeah, GG, well played. Congratulations to Ryung. Very fitting as well. Again, this event was named after Ryung a little bit, for a third of it, I want to say. For those that are curious, Ryung, he has a nickname. He has a nickname amongst the Koreans. He is the Tuna Terran. The reason why it's called the Tuna Terran is because in Korea there is a brand of canned tuna called Dongwon. That's a brand of canned tuna in Korea. It's quite a popular brand as well. And Ryung's IRL name is Dongwon. So his name is Dongwon. That's a brand of canned tuna. So because of that, they do call him the Tuna Terran. We call him that as well, of course. And when we were first starting our tournaments, this was when Alima League was kind of dying down. When Alima League stopped becoming a weekly tournament, Alima League used to be a weekly Korean event, and we did decide to step in to replace Alima League to have an open cup for the Korean scene, open to all regions, but, you know, kind of like focus and centralize towards a more Korean-friendly time slot and time zone. When coming up with the name of our tournaments, we needed to come up with an idea for the mascot. And when trying to think about one, Ryung came to mind. He's like, hey, he's a tuna, we're the ducks. Why do we make a tournament involving a tuna of some kind? So again, Ryung, he's the reason why we started this event many years ago as a tuna for the mascot. So Sparkling Tuna Cup. Likewise, the reason why it's sparkling is because that is a meme. That's a GSL meme. For those that watch the GSL, especially a couple of years ago, they used to be sponsored by sparkling water. And there was like whenever they would run a sparkling water ad, the chat would just spam sparkling in the chat. A lot of ads, a lot of memes surrounding GSL. So we did, that's where sparkling comes from. And the cup comes from the acronym STC. So we needed a C, like we had the S, we had the T, we had sparkling, we had tuna, and we made it a cup instead of like a weekly or a tournament or something like that. Sparkling Tuna Cup. The reasoning for that is STC, or the STC, is a Korean Terran player. He's a Korean Terran player who is also near and dear to our hearts as well. So again, it is all a reference to Ryung, to GSL, to the STC, all a reference to the Korean scene. The Korean scene. And finally, after many, many years of Sparkling Tuna Cup, Ryung wins for the first time. Let's go, let's go. Ryung, he wins for the first time. Now we need the STC to play as well. Well, you know what's crazy is that the STC, he retired like at the start of Legacy of the Void. He retired a long time ago, a very long time ago. But for those of you that are a little bit more engrossed in the scene, you would know that the STC returned like a month ago, like back in December, like around December. He returned kind of as a player, but as a caster. Like the SSC, he's been casting. He hasn't been casting regular StarCraft though. He's been casting StarCraft Evolution, and he's been playing in StarCraft Evolution as well. He actually played, I think in December in StarCraft Evolution events, and he's been casting. So that was mind-boggling, by the way. I remember it was back in December. I got into cast some StarCraft as we do, and I noticed the STC online. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? Is that you? It's like, why are you here? It's been years. But yeah, he came back, and kind of like a little bit as a player, mainly as a content creator. So really cool to see after many years the SEC return. Now we just have to play him. We just have to get him to play in our tournaments. Get him to play. Yeah. The Tuna won the Tuna. Yes, Tropicana. Yes. Beautiful. And it's Sea Duck Yomi because there's little ducklings swimming in the little pond of Diamond League next to the Ocean of Masters. There's another story for that for another time. Oh no. But sure, yeah. Ducklings, Diamond players, kind of. May as well. But with that, GG well played. With that does conclude our tournaments. That concludes our weekly. Again, do check out the bracket or the VODs for the rest of the event. I know that our event this week did clash with the Wardy TV qualifiers for the TLMC, and it also clashed with Pigs Cast of the Pigsty Festival. So I do know that did impact viewership. I know that a lot of people were watching other events at the same time, so I do apologize for that. But this does also mean that players that weren't a part of those events were able to perform, compete, and have deep runs in this tournament, whereas otherwise they would sometimes struggle. I mentioned this before, but Ryung and Shameless, they'd never won before, and now we get a new champion. Usually it's players like Skillus that's stopping them, but Skillus, I believe, was playing in the Pigsty event, so Skillus could not play in this week's tournament. I'm sure he'll be here next time, though. Otherwise, if you want to help support this tournament, !Matcherino in the chat. You'll get a link to the Matcherino page. This event is funded via that Matcherino page, so you can help fund us and you can help support us through that. Otherwise, Patreon is the place to be. Hold on, Patreon. There we go. And Matcherino. But Patreon, that is where we do fund all of our tournaments. Currently, we're not quite at our goal. We're almost there, almost at our goal. But thank you so much to all of our patrons. Thank you so much to all of our patrons on Patreon. Without you, our events wouldn't be as large as they are. They wouldn't be as funded as they are, and the players would be worse off as a result. So thank you. Thank you so much. 100% of the money goes towards our players, or goes towards the events and goes towards the players as a result. Our next goal is at 400 USD a month, and that is to boost the prize pool for STC, to increase it, and to pay out top 4. Currently, only top 2 get paid, and we are so close to paying out top 4. We're almost there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Who is live at the moment? I know that Wardy is live, but he has plenty of viewers. We usually try to raid smaller streamers. I see Railgun is streaming. Sal is asleep. We'll find. I know Strange is live. We'll find someone. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Otherwise, thanks so much. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be back in like 9 hours. We're going to be back in 9 hours time with some OSC, with OSC Season 12 Championship. Likewise, we should also be hosting the Wardy TV Monday. I don't think we have confirmation that there's going to be a Wardy TV Monday, but we should have one unless there's some TLMC going on. It's possible that there might be some Team Liquid Map contest instead, if like events. So we'll try to confirm. Otherwise, we'll at least be live tomorrow with some OSC content. Un momento here as we check out our schedule. Bam! There we go. Yeah, for the time being. So we have OSC on Monday. We have Pigastore Monday on Tuesday. We have OSC King of the Hill on Tuesday evening. We have Code for Giants Cup, the Podcast, FSL, SEL, Sea Duckling Open, and some Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. We have plenty of content throughout the week. We're live on a daily basis. And I did mention this before, and time to embrace it here and now. But March should be a little bit leaner for us. If you know anything about the CranKy Ducklings, you will know that usually we are live twice a day, every single day. But you can see here for this week, we have a couple of days where we only have one broadcast. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, let's go. So March should be a little bit leaner like this, where we're still live on a daily basis, but now sometimes only one cast a day, which means one, I can catch up with scheduling all the VODs and editing VODs and working on social media, but two, I get to sleep properly. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be able to sleep, Bobby. Oh my god. I should also be able to stream. Should be able to stream on my own personal channel as well. I should be able to have some free time to ladder, to play some StarCraft. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. Look forward to that. Coming into March. Look forward to it. Just a little bit more free time. Otherwise, thanks so much. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to check out my content, you can do so via the command !, light in the chat, ! lights, and you can follow us there if you wish. Again, I will try to stream a little bit more this week now that we are a little bit more available. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Find someone to raid. See you there. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.